We have a golf tournament coming up on Sunday. It's our 13th annual golf tournament. Dave Germondi and his group at Twin Ponds do a phenomenal job for us. We sell out very quickly. We sell out in 3 weeks. We have 40 foursomes coming, so that's a big fundraiser for us. And then on October 17th, we have what's called our Pink Tie Gala, which is an event that's held at Harts Hill Inn, and Scott LaCourque and his group do a wonderful job for us right there. And we sell out. We have probably about 350 people there, that evening. And it's a great event. Dave's our DJ, and Dana's our photographer. And it gives everybody a chance to dress up in their Class A's, and the ladies they dress up in their nice gowns and whatever. And we do a little dancing, and we have some raffles and stuff. But again, it's the people in this community that make us what we are today.
Some statistics here, and this is from the Firefighter Cancer Support Network. Firefighters have a 9% higher risk of being diagnosed with cancer, 14% higher risk of dying from cancer than the general population. I think the statistics on this vary a bit, but you mentioned the bracelet that some firefighters were wearing. Talk about that again.
Yeah, those statistics are the same ones that I sat in a meeting in 2017 in Washington. So those statistics really haven't been changed that much. The recent statistics that was done just on volunteer firefighters in a 16-state area said an increase in a 24-hour period of carcinogenic agents within their bodies 24%.
Yeah.
So and that was just done less than a year ago.
And I see here studies show risk from testicular cancer and a 50% higher rate of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and multiple myeloma. So I guess depending on the cancer, those percentages and rates vary, but a 50% higher rate. And that's what you had, non-Hodgkin's?
Non-Hodgkin's B-cell lymphoma. And they said a lot of it was attributed to we have to wear hoods, protective hoods. All the chemicals that are in your protective hoods, the soot from the fires and everything like that. I was that guy. I thought walking into the fire station, the badge of courage was the dirtiest gear, was the most active firefighter. So at the end of every fire, you're going to pull them down around your neck. My cancer was in my neck area and went right into my thyroid. I don't have any saliva glands. My saliva glands are burned from my radiation. So it's just, but I'm here to tell about it. I'm here to talk about it. I chew gum all the time, I say, excuse me, but that's why I chew gum.
Yeah. Yeah, and look, spreading the word on this is important. As I said, I'm not a firefighter, but that whole story about the UPD, the UFD, and getting the gear that didn't have this forever chemical in it. You're wearing stuff to protect you from the fire, but also it's putting you at risk of other things as well. So,
right. Is it better to spend some money to protect our firefighters than to not to have firefighters to protect our residents? I think that's the most crucial thing. I don't think you can take a budget and change it when you're dealing with safety. I don't care whether it's in law enforcement or whether it's in the fire service. What the Utica Fire Department Union did, and I applaud Chief Ingersoll. I love Chief Ingersoll. He does a wonderful job there. And, they're looking out for their firefighters, and that's what good leadership does.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Top to bottom.
You have a website as well, I believe, 271. What is the website?
Believe271.com.
Okay,
Yep.
and your events will be listed there, and I'm sure there's probably a link to donate on there if people want to support as well.
There is. Yep.
Left out the Believe Bowl on September 5th.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
One thing Brian said about this community, I've been saying it forever, Dana and I say this all the time, is this is one of the best communities in the country, I believe.
Yeah.
And the fact that the community gets behind the firefighters, you think about the backbone of our communities, and for so long we've taken a volunteer fire service for granted until you need them. And when that tone goes off in the middle of the night, whether it's a car crash or you smell smoke or your carbon monoxide detector or your house is fully engulfed, they're the ones that are coming. They're the ones that are dropping everything. And they got to be to work at 7 in the morning, and at 1 o'clock they get up and they spend 4 hours at your house or 3 hours at your house, and then they go on their day. We owe them such a debt of gratitude for everything. So
you brought up a good point about the Believe Bowl. Blaise Fagiano is a very good friend of mine. He actually coached my son at St. John Fisher football, and we got together and we formed what's called the Believe Bowl, and it honors cancer. Those firefighters that have been impacted by cancer. It's always the first game of the year. This year it's an Orange Out game on September 5th at noon. We're working on a flyover from LifeNet to fly over for the opening game, but Blaise Fagiano sent me a medal. It's a St. Blaise medal, and I've had that medal on ever since. I've never taken it off, and you can see it I wear it all the time. And Blaise Fagiano is he's the epitome of what a community person's all about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't matter whether you know what you do, but he didn't have to send me that model. And I'm telling you, I love the guy to death, and he's done so much for this community, and he's put quality products on that field every year. And so this Believe Bowl is going to be dedicated to the 5 people that were injured in the disaster at the church fire and explosion in Boonville. So again, it really doesn't have to be just the cancer aspect. It's giving back to the community for the people that gave something to us.
Absolutely. Brian McQueen, thank you so much for your
Thank
time
you.
this morning and all you've done over the course of your career and continue to do now to support the first responders who do so much for us.
I appreciate y'all. I love listening to you. I think it's great, and any way I can help you out, please, never hesitate. But remember, cancer does impact all of us in so many different ways, and you don't have to be a firefighter to get it. So
absolutely, and when you have events, please reach out, and we'll have you on and promote those for you as well.
Thank you very much.
And one more time, happy birthday to your beautiful bride.
Thanks.
Happy
That's
birthday.
right. That's where I'm going right now, down to Masonic. So.
Brian McQueen and Believe 271.
This is an America 250 Minute brought to you by Oneida County America 250 Commission. I'm Leslie Rainey, Regent of Oneida Chapter Daughters of the American Revolution.
And I'm Alexis Albright, historian for Oneida County and the Village of Oriskany.
Today I would like to highlight George Wythe, one of Virginia's signers of the Declaration of Independence. George Wythe was born in Elizabeth City County, Virginia, on December 3rd, 1726. After studying law under his uncle, he became one of the colonial America's most respected attorneys and judges. His commitment to justice and learning earned him the title Father of American Jurisprudence. Wythe married Anne Lewis in 1747, but she died just a few months later. In 1755, he married Elizabeth Taliaferro, and they had one son, Thomas, who sadly died in infancy. Elizabeth remained his devoted companion until her death in 1787. Wythe was a mentor to many future leaders, including Thomas Jefferson, who called him his greatest teacher. In 1776, Wythe proudly signed the Declaration of Independence at the age of 50 and later helped draft Virginia's laws and served as one of the first judges of Virginia High Court of Chancery. George Wythe died in Richmond, Virginia on June 8, 1806, after being poisoned by his grandnephew who hoped to gain his inheritance. Wythe is remembered as a brilliant legal scholar, dedicated educator, and courageous patriot whose influence helped shape both Virginia and the new United States. George Wythe, signer of the Declaration of Independence for Virginia.
And we want you to love the history where you live.
Utica and the Mohawk Valley, the summer sale is on. This is the big one at upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer, Mattress Express. Listen to this. This is a great deal, folks. On select beds, get a king for the price of a queen for the price of a full, and a full for the price of a twin. Save, save, save. If that weren't enough, pick out any king or queen set in the store, buy one, and get upgraded to an adjustable base for free. You heard me right. Take up to 5 years to pay with no money down for qualified buyers and no credit check payment plans every day. A massage chair? On select massage chairs, get a $500 prepaid Visa card. In New Hartford on Commercial Drive next to Pet Supplies Plus. Oneida and the Glenwood Plaza by the movie theaters. In Rome on Black River Boulevard in the Black River Plaza. Go to mattressexpressny.com. Call 1-800-NEW-BEDS.
At Community Memorial, we're committed to your good health. And we're proud to offer primary care service that's close by with 6 family health centers throughout the area. Maybe you don't have a primary care doctor right now. Call us. And definitely call if you're managing a long-term condition and you're not getting the personal attention and support you need. We're here and we're ready to help, offering compassionate care, guidance, and support for patients of all ages. And at Community Memorial, we're one big team, so you'll have fast access to additional services and specialists when needed. That's first-class community health care, right in your backyard. We have family health centers close to you in Cazenovia, Hamilton, Waterville, Morrisville, Munnsville, and Sherrill. And we're welcoming new patients throughout the area. For a better primary care experience, choose a team that's highly rated for patient satisfaction. Choose Community Memorial and get better.
It's about how you feel when you walk through the doors and when you leave. That's Steep Pawnee Mazda on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. It's the Ricky Z way, right? It's the Steep Pawnee way. But beyond that, it's every single employee. They treat you with the respect, and they understand you're in there for a new vehicle or you're in there for service. It's all about the treatment. This is Bill Keeler. And right now at Steep Pawnee Mazda, save on a new Mazda lease or enjoy 0.9% APR financing on a new 2026 Mazda CX-50 with 1.9% on CX-50 hybrids, 0.9% on the new 2026 Mazda CX-70 and CX-90, and 0% on PHEV models. See the dealership for details. As Rick says, come on in, let's look at the deals. Let's take care of you. How about 2.9% on a new 2026 Mazda CX-30 or CX-5? Where it's always easy to do business, Steep Pawnee Mazda.
The opinions, viewpoints, and promises made during the following program are not those of WIBX, its staff, management, or parent company, Town Square Media.
If we take the jail first, we'll have a place to lock up all the others. Then there's Keeler. He took over the bank as soon as the judge was murdered.
But I think that's because when you make tough decisions, you're left to deal with the repercussions.
Seriously, dear, I've done so many of these shows across the nation, helped so many people, and guided them to my website. And
look at this.
What is this, a joke program? I mean, what type of a program are you running here?
Here comes the ball.
Go.
That hair.
Be hungry. First on Fox, boys.
New York! Morning radio personality Bill Keeler is no longer on the air. He was fired yesterday over a contract.
Father O'Shaughnessy?
Yes.
Great Paul, well in Lynchburg, Virginia. How are you?
Good morning.
One of the reasons that there is so much more money in college sports nowadays today is because of gambling. And joining us now from the Siena Research Institute is Travis Broadbeck to talk about a poll that looked at New Yorkers' feelings toward online sports betting here in the state of New York. Good morning, Travis. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Very good. So what were you looking to answer with this latest survey from Siena?
Yeah, we were trying to look at the overall prevalence of sports gambling across the state, how people were placing bets, and also the overall public attitudes towards the sports betting industry.
So what did you find out?
Yeah, it's really interesting. And it's not only just what we find across New York State, it's actually the differences that we see between men and women, people under the age of 50 versus people over the age of 50, and bettors and non-bettors. So to kind of take you at a high level, around 1 in 4 New Yorkers say that they placed a bet of any size with anyone on the outcome of a sporting event in the last year. And when you look at the differences between men and women, you see around 4 in 10 men, 37%, have placed a bet versus just 14% of women. So around 1 in 10 women there. And you see the same relationship between people under 50 years old, around a third of young people have placed a bet in the last year versus just 1 in 10 of folks over the age of 50. And the thing that's concerning is the concentration of betting behavior. We looked at men under the age of 50, and half of that group told us that they placed a bet on a sporting event in the last year. Now, what's interesting about that is how people place bets. 84% of our bettors say they use online sports books. And you think about your DraftKings, your FanDuels, your Bet365.
Right.
But half still place bets with friends or family, 4 in 10 with casinos. But the interesting part here is sports betting has been legal in the state for multiple years, but 1 in 4 of our bettors are still using bookies.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. You know what it is? You know what the bookie can offer that the sports book can't, and you probably know this, Travis, is credit. I'll pay you next Tuesday.
Or I was thinking anonymity.
Anonymity is
that one,
what you're looking for. Yeah. Well, so you're saying maybe you wouldn't have to pay taxes when you win? They don't know who you are?
If I'm a player for UConn and I want to place a bet,
I understand
illegally,
what you're saying.
I can go through a bookie and protect myself.
Yeah. You talked about, Travis, the numbers under 50. It was like 50% of men under the age of 50. I bet if you went under the age of 30, it's probably upwards of 65% of men. This is certainly more popular among the younger generation.
Absolutely. I'm a faculty member at Siena University, and I actually, during class, catch my students placing bets when we're talking about accounting concepts.
Yeah, I hate to say this, but I'm not surprised. Listen, another thing that you looked at in this survey was, do people think it's good or bad? And I think a majority, no, not a majority, 39%, I believe, say it's bad for the state of New York. And I think that means the individuals who live here, right?
Yes, and overall, if you think about the various benefits and disadvantages of sports betting, we do national studies on this as well, where a lot of people talk about it's fun, it keeps them engaged, but they also talk about some of the disadvantages, such as the harms from sports gambling and so the addiction that comes with it. So people, kind of take this question in any way they want to, but you're right. 39% said they think this is bad for New York, where only 23% say this is good for New York. But when you look at bettors, half of bettors, 49%, say, I think that online sports gambling is good for the state, versus just 14% of non-bettors. So there is a major divide when you look at people who are engaged in these behaviors and their perceptions on the benefits and disadvantages, and people who are not engaged.
Can I ask a question, please? I was just curious. Your thoughts on the Brendan Sorsby situation that happened at Texas Tech. He was caught gambling over several years, deemed ineligible by the NCAA, and now he's going to have to wait until the 2027 draft to play in the NFL. Just your thoughts about his situation, how he placed bets when he played at Indiana during his redshirt season, and it was held against him.
Yeah, I think. Oh,
go ahead, Travis. I'm sorry.
I think this is actually part of some of the concerns that we have that New Yorkers have expressed to us in our poll, where they think this, when we have these constant remarks of sports gambling and potential bets and live games, that they think this is going to be bad for sports. 52% of New Yorkers say that this constant echo of odds and gambling bets is a problem. So I think, that pressure that you see as a viewer is also being passed down to our athletes as well.
Travis Broadback is with Siena. Tim?
Yeah. Well, I think one of the things is we need to remember places like FanDuel and whatever it is. These are for-profit organizations, and there's a reason why they're in the business. And it doesn't surprise me that the gamblers feel like, I always win. They're in business because ultimately people lose. So,
yeah. Ultimately, people do lose, and I guess this is the part where I scratch my head, and this wasn't covered in there, Travis, but you can comment on it if you like. I just quickly looked up $1.3 billion in tax revenue from sports betting for New York State, $145 million in state tax revenue from marijuana in New York State, and the state is facing a projected $34 billion budget gap. So I don't know how we fix that problem. I don't know what we have to legalize next.
What next vice that we have to get after?
I don't know. Travis, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Very interesting.
Thank you. Have a great day, everyone.
Yeah. That is Travis Broadbeck from the Siena Research Institute. Imagine that, $34 billion in debt. I just remember before sports betting was legal, before marijuana was legal, it'd be like, oh, you know how much money the state would make? Taxes would go down. They would get so much revenue if they just legalized this. And now they've done both, and the budget gap is as big as it's ever been.
It's so funny because one of the things he did cover in here was people over 62, the vast majority are opposed to sports betting. I mean, I'm of an age in regards to it that like the two worst things were in regards to it was gambling and drugs. And now somehow we figured out a way to legalize both of them, and it seems like we're in a bigger mess.
Utica and the Mohawk Valley, the summer sale is on. This is the big one at upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer, Mattress Express. Listen to this. This is a great deal, folks. On select beds, get a king for the price of a queen for the price of a full, and a full for the price of a twin. Save, save, save. If that weren't enough, pick out any king or queen set in the store, buy one, and get upgraded to an adjustable base for free. You heard me right. Take up to 5 years to pay with no money down for qualified buyers, and no credit check payment plans every day. A massage chair? On select massage chairs, get a $500 prepaid Visa card. In New Hartford on Commercial Drive next to Pet Supplies Plus. Oneida and the Glenwood Plaza by the movie theaters. In Rome on Black River Boulevard in the Black River Plaza. Go to mattressexpressny.com. Call 1-800-NEW-BEDS.
We have some clouds and 62 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time, 6:33. The death toll has risen to 3 after a shooting near Seattle's Space Needle on Sunday. 4 others were injured when shots rang out during the Bite of Seattle festival, with the youngest of the victims being just 2 years old. Seattle's Mayor Katie Wilson says a suspect was taken into custody, although it's still unknown what led up to the shooting. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries is pushing affordability as the number one campaign issue heading into the midterm elections. Speaking at a campaign event on Sunday in Pennsylvania, Jeffries said that when you work hard and play by the rules, you should be able to live a middle-class life, a comfortable life, an affordable life, and live a good life. The conflict between the United States and Iran is nearing 5 months old, and a new survey says over 2,000 respondents shows roughly 80% of those believe the Trump administration has struggled more than expected. About 2 in 10 respondents of the CBS News YouGov poll said the war has gone as smoothly as anticipated. That's just 20%, while only 4% believe the administration has had an easier time than expected. Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers are reportedly planning a massive operation in Ohio to arrest thousands of Haitians who are losing their temporary protected status. The TPS program is designed to allow migrants to live in the United States if it's too dangerous to return home. The Supreme Court recently sided with the Trump administration that the status could be revoked for Haitians and others. Opening statements set to begin today in Massachusetts in the high-profile murder trial of Lindsay Clancy. The 35-year-old was indicted on 3 counts each of murder in the 2023 deaths of her 3 children after being accused of strangling them at her home. She then became a paraplegic after harming herself in the aftermath of the deaths of her children. And the wait for a second bridge between Detroit and Canada has finally come to an end. The Gordie Howe International Bridge opens to vehicle traffic today after 8 years of construction and over 25 years of planning. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time is 6:35. Here's your Weather Center forecast.
All right, going to push around a little patchy fog this morning as we get into the afternoon. Going to miss shower, thunderstorm, otherwise sunshine, clouds. Not a bad Monday. About 85. Tonight, 65. Be a little cooler in the North Country. Tomorrow, a few showers around, maybe a thunderstorm. High near 80 degrees, and there could be some stronger storms in spots tomorrow. Nothing widespread, but we'll keep an eye on it. Wednesday, a few showers, thunderstorms. Highs will be in the low 70s. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, cloudy skies and 62 degrees on this Monday morning. It is 6:36.
Live here, work here, support local. At New York Sash, that's how we do business every single day. Before our crews install a window or bath, we're out supporting the local companies that power us. By keeping it local, we keep our quality high, bringing you true worry-free remodeling. And this July, we're celebrating America's 250th milestone with the biggest event in our history. Welcome to the America 250 sale at New York Sash. Right now, completely transform your home and buy 2 windows, get 1 free. That's buy 2, get 1 free on energy-efficient windows. Plus, take a massive 50% off expert bath installation. And to make it completely worry-free for your budget, get 0% financing for 25 months. Call 315-624-7344 or visit NewYorkSash.com today.
Financing available with approved credit subject to approval. Not all buyers may qualify. Offer subject to terms and restrictions. See store for details.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Dan Meehan, State Farm Insurance in Utica, thanks our troops and veterans for everything they've done so fearlessly for us. Send letters and packages from home and offer a veteran a discount on your local product or service. That's Dan Meehan, State Farm Insurance in Utica. Trust their years of experience for all of your insurance needs. Call Dan Meehan, State Farm Insurance at 315-735-4494. 315-735-4494.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This is Bill Keeler, and I have to tell you, my family relies on New York Sash, and we have several times when it comes to home improvement, and so have so many members of our family. And right now, there's an awesome time for you to take advantage of what New York Sash has to offer with their America 250 sale as they celebrate America's 250th with an amazing opportunities here. Right now, when you buy 2 windows, you'll get 1 free. 4 get 2 free, 10 get 5 free. The list goes on. There's no limit. Plus, you'll save 50% off expert bath installation. And here's the biggie. This is huge. Qualified buyers can receive 0% financing for 25 months, making it easier for you to do it now and not use the maybe next year excuse. It's time to do it now. It's New York Sash. Go to NewYorkSash.com for details. Call them 624-7344 or visit them on Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro, New York Sash.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Well, I don't know if I've ever seen anybody as irate as Aaron Boone, but I'll tell you there's a close second, and his name is Joe Lode, and it depends on the topic. But I don't know if he's sea, ground, or air this morning. But good morning, Joe Lode. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning.
So I want to set the table here. You're a little frustrated by something. This was brought to your attention, and actually you aren't impacted, but this is a friend of yours who sent you this. He received a letter in the mail, and this involves, you jokingly said to me, I didn't know Marcy had an HOA. So kind of set the scene on what this is about.
So, like most people, I mean, not like most people, but people have, when I lived in Deerfield, I had a trailer, like my DJ trailer in my yard. No worries, right? Snowmobile trailer, no worries. He gets a letter stating that because he's got a beautiful, like, $40,000 pontoon boat sitting in his driveway during the week while he's working, and he goes out on the weekend, and he puts the pontoon boat in the water and enjoys family fun. Well, now, all of a sudden, he gets a letter stating that no recreational vehicles are allowed in your driveway. They have to be behind or even with your house.
Okay, so
boat,
go ahead.
RV, I don't know if it includes landscape trailer, snowmobile trailer, motorcycle trailer, whatever,
I have a copy of the letter here, and I'll read it right now. This says, subject, recreation vehicle, boat/trailer, initial notification. And then there's a tax map number, and I'm not going to share that. Okay, so it says, Dear Sir, but it says his name here. In accordance with Unified Development Code, Town of Marcy, Article 3, Use Regulations, Section 3.3, 3.3.2, residential accessory uses, allowed vehicle parking. One recreation vehicle or boat on trailer is allowed, provided it is not parked in the front yard setback. Please remove or relocate the boat on trailer within 10 days to avoid further action. If you have any questions, please contact, and there's a number listed here, and it's signed Marcy UDC Codes Department. So I guess your point is this. He takes the boat. He can't go store it somewhere because he's using it. It's summer season, right?
Right. He stores it in the winter. It's not in his driveway in the winter. It's summer.
Right.
And does it also include RVs, snowmobile trailers, ATV trailers, things of that nature? Or is it just subject to said boat? Now, in his community, in his area, there's not only him, but there's a bunch of people that have both in their driveway. Now, here's the other thing. I think he said that the law came into effect in 2008. So what was it? Somebody was mad because their neighbor had a boat, and they got on the codes board, and all of a sudden decided to say, "Hey, I don't have a boat, so I'm going to make this code up that says you can't park your boat because I don't want to see your boat." I mean, or is it because somebody had a junky boat? I don't know, but I just think it's crazy because, again, I lived in neighboring Deerfield, and I never heard of such a thing. And who says what you can put in your driveway and what you can't?
Yeah, I think it's certainly a fair question.
You drive around the neighborhood, some people don't even mow their lawns.
No, I know. Well, so Joe, I guess that's the point I want to make. I and Dave, feel free to chime in here. I feel like it's a fine line. I specifically remember there was a home in South Utica, and I'll just mention his name because I think he's the guy who brought it to my attention. I think it was Jim Zecca, and this was 20 years ago. But essentially, this individual or this family had stuff on their front lawn, and it was like from April to October, it was a never-ending yard sale. And they just had garbage and junk on tables, out in the front lawn, and I don't even know if they were mowing around the stuff. There was so much stuff. I remember driving by and seeing it and looking like, oh, wow, that's a yard sale. And then they had a ton of stuff on the grass, not just on tables. But, you know, it was like, it wasn't a yard sale for a weekend or 2 weekends, or it was a community-wide garage sale, yard sale. It was this person was just putting stuff on the lawn, and if people drove by and saw something they like, you know, they could make an offer or try to buy it. Right? So you have a situation like that, which certainly nobody would want to live next door to, versus a situation like this where I don't know if that's the intent of that particular code. I mean, if you have neighbors who have a boat and they work, right, these are all sound like good things, right? Someone to live next door to. You know, you don't want somebody who has nothing and, as you say, doesn't mow the lawn. This is a family who works, a family who does recreation on the weekends. What's wrong with putting the boat in the driveway Monday through Friday when they're not using it? I don't understand.
Right. Well, and it would be the same. Is the letter going to come out in the wintertime because people have their snowmobile trailers in their driveway because, again, it's winter and people use them, right, for recreation.
Right.
So, yeah, I guess it's So they get away with this. Then what's the next thing? You can't have peony bushes in your yard. You can only have marigolds. I mean, come on.
What's kind of I was just going to say that it's kind of subjective unless it's really clearly defined. Because if let's say I'm that house that has the stuff on the front yard, or it's just decorations, but really tacky decorations and big plastic sunflowers and whatever else. But that's what I like. It's really subjective to.
Well,
enforcing
I do know, Dave, in New Hartford, there was a house right on Route 5 that had signs, and she wrote sayings and stuff, and then she was told, because there was an ordinance about signage, that she had to remove those signs from the front yard. I guess if there is something to that effect where it's an eyesore, but what I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Who decides what's an eyesore? Her and her neighbors might like it. I would never ever live in a community with an HOA, but also you also understand there has to be some laws. The one big thing about that is they have to be enforced equally for everybody, and that's tough. Like Joe said, what's a recreational vehicle? What falls under that definition? That's a pretty broad brush. And that boat is somebody just irritated because they're seeing a boat there, and is the house down the street. Maybe they got a race car that they take to Utica Rome Speedway every weekend, but it's what falls into that definition.
And then here's the best part. It's not like it's obstructing any view of driving or anything. It's parked back because the house is set off the road, so it's parked way back by the garage, not even close to the road.
So I'm wondering as well, Joe, you just mentioned something. Okay, so on my route to work in the morning, there is a turn that I make, and it's not the fault of the homeowner, but just the way the road bends. It's Henderson. It's Henderson Street in New York Mills, and the way the road bends, when you are stopped at the end of the road making a left-hand turn onto Henderson, if they are home and they have a truck, if they are home parked in the driveway, you cannot really see vehicles coming, and it's not their fault. It's just it's their driveway, and it's just kind of the way the road is. I'm wondering if this is born about by some type of a situation where if you're pulling out of your driveway, you can't see the cross traffic coming and going, because there's a specific mention here to the let me read it here. Provided I'm sorry, I'm trying to go back and read this, but it has to do with the front yard setback. I could not define what a front yard setback is, but do you know what they're specifically referring to? That it's got to be past where the house is. So maybe it has to do with at the edge of the driveway, you can't block the view. Go ahead.
Even or behind the house is what they're saying, the setback. It can't be in a driveway setback. Well, why not? Where does it matter? So you can have the said $40,000 pontoon boat parked on your lawn, even with your house on the side of the house, but not in the driveway.
And like you said, if your house is 100 yards off the road, you know.
Yeah.
Joe, you also mentioned a lot of people are getting these, right? Not just your buddy.
Yeah, a lot of people in the neighborhood. Now, I was told that there's a gentleman that's been in that neighborhood 25 years. Now, he's going to get, I mean, if the law started in 08, he would probably be grandfathered if he's lived there prior to, right?
Maybe not. Yeah, I do think in a situation like this, you would have to conform. This sounds like a safety or codes related issue. Joe, let me ask you as well. Your buddy, has he lived there? I mean, again, it goes back to 2008. It's 2026. Has your buddy lived there, or is this his first year? Okay, not that long.
No, he's been there maybe, I think, 5 years or so. But here's the other question. If you're moving into an area, shouldn't the town be responsible for giving you said bylaws when you move into your home in that area? Or should you not? I mean, because, listen, when you're at work, right, and they change the company handbook, they make you sign it showing you where they changed it, right? And when you first start with a company, you sign the company handbook so you know what the rules are.
Yeah, but
so should the town not give you a rule book before you move there?
Okay, I'll say this. If they have a rule book, I think this is actually a really good idea that you just came up with. It wouldn't be a bad idea to drop this off on somebody's doorstep to say, hey, here's, the frequently asked questions kind of thing, or the frequently enforced codes violations that you should be aware of. If your lawn's above 8 or 10 inches, you might get a fine. Initially, you'll get a warning, that type of a situation. But Joe, first of all, it is the responsibility of the homeowner to know the situation. Also, this is a warning. This isn't like they just wrote him a ticket right out of the gate, number one. That's number two.
No, I get that.
And third, Joe, could you imagine you buy a house and then someone from the village shows up with this thick book of rules and regulations, and they go, hey, I know you're moving in right now, but I'm going to need you to sign a couple documents. You're going to have to read this page, read page 47, read page 86, sign at the bottom. I mean, that's a nuisance, right? You wouldn't want that.
Well, that's what you do when you move to Florida.
Is that
when
right?
you sign it's an HOA.
Yeah. Well, but again, this is not an HOA.
But the one thing about Marcy is
they're acting like it is.
Marcy's so the communities are so diverse. You might have, there's a couple houses here on River Road, so now you're in a business district. There's developments like Joe's talking about. There's rural roads where you might not have a house within sight of you. And how does that law apply equally to that rural road where your house is 100 yards off the road? You don't have another house. You got to have your boat beside or behind your house, or right here on River Road. You live on River Road. I mean, with the view of the road and the view of the intersection, stuff like that. I don't know how one size fits all for a place like the town of Marcy.
Yeah, or Deerfield, or some of these suburban. I know I don't like to use New Hartford because they have their own set of rules. I don't get into them, but New Hartford's a little crazy up there. But I'm just thinking, this is why maybe I live in the country. But I told my friend, I says, you could always move. And, he goes, yeah, I know, but we like the school district. We like the area. I mean, I don't know. What do you do? I brought it up because I thought, man, this is kind of crazy that you pay taxes. This just goes back to the fact that we never even own our own homes ever. We pay taxes on them. If the house is paid off, we still pay taxes on them. You buy a refrigerator at the store. When you buy the refrigerator, you pay the tax, and that's it. Houses, different story. Do we really own our own property in America? Are we really free? That's what I'm saying. Here we go.
Oh, boy. It's a much bigger question you ask.
Go fishing, Joe. Go fishing.
Yeah, go fish, man. Don't spend time thinking about this stuff because it'll drive you crazy. I think it's a fair question he asks. But again, let me ask you, if you own your home, if everybody in a community owns their home, well, would they not have a police department, a fire department, public DPW? Because then how would they generate revenue? If they weren't taxing you, if they weren't beating you over the head.
That's a good question, but Jeff, they take your payroll tax. You go to the store, you pay sales tax. I mean, there's taxes everywhere, right?
I know.
I mean,
it's
you
too
buy a
much.
brand new
I'm not
car,
advocating for taxes. I'm not advocating for it. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. I get it. I understand that. I don't know what the answer is. I just know that we never really own our own land or home ever because we're always paying for it.
Yeah.
And by definition, when you own it, you paid for it.
Joe, sea, air, or land this morning? What are you doing this weekend?
This weekend, Joe's real busy. Got a wedding tomorrow, graduation party Sunday, so Joe will be doing not much. Just working weekend. I will tell you, that salmon, Jeff, I brought it home that night. We put salmon in aluminum foil with some teriyaki marinade on it and steamed it on the grill. Oh, God, there's nothing finer. If you get a chance to get out to Oswego, get out there to TK Charters, get yourself some salmon. It's the best money you'll ever spend. It's really kind of inexpensive for what it is. You catch all the fish you can, and then you go home and you eat fresh fish. That's nice. Do you want to mention what store you might have bought the teriyaki sauce from, or maybe what place you bought the grill at, or what brand it is? I do buy it Reynolds aluminum foil. I'm just saying, Jeff. I mean, there's treasures around, and you know what? In a few weeks, I'll be going to the Sterling Renaissance Festival. Have you ever been to that?
I have. I
mean, just the idea of throwing tomatoes at this guy in the stockade and having a turkey leg and looking at all the local artisans. Matter of fact, there's a guy, he's an iron forger, and he works at Topus with me, and he's up there during the festival every weekend, and he does forged jewelry and stuff. It's pretty neat.
I think the forged instruments, weapons, jewelry, I think that's really cool. I will tell you, I'm not a Renaissance Festival guy. I know, Dave, do you like going to that?
I could do the turkey leg.
Yeah. I'm not a huge Renaissance Festival guy, although throwing tomatoes at the guy with the bad jokes, that's not a bad idea.
We get that a lot with the Dusty Puppies. I don't want to talk about that.
Joe Lode checking in. Sea, air, or land. Joe is usually irate about something, and he's more than happy to share it with us here on the show, and we appreciate it. Joe, thanks for bringing this to our attention. I think, Smitty, I got an assignment for you. I'm going to have you reach out to Marcy so they can, just to have them on, we'll give them equal airtime. Can they clarify the situation? And it sounds like, I don't know this, but it sounds like from the little information we have, maybe there's a step up on enforcement this year, because if it dates back to 2008 and this guy's just getting notified of this situation now, I wonder if there's a new commitment, a new effort to enforce this particular code. So, Joe, thank you and have a great weekend.
Hey, you too, guys. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We're your neighbors, friends, and your family. We care about our community, your business, and most important, you.
We support charities like the United Way, McMahon Ryan Child Advocacy Center, rather members of IBEW Local 43 and NECA Contractors. You don't just see our work, you live it. From the JMA Wireless Dome, hospitals, schools, and city buildings, the IBEW is part of the community.
Central New York's future is bright, and the IBEW Local 43 and NECA will continue to help light, power, and grow Central New York.
There's never been a better time to buy the commercial mower that has your back, Ferris. For a limited time, your Ferris dealer, Clinton Tractor, has the best financing offers of the year. Choose the offer that works best for you, 36 or 60 months. There are even options to skip payments when work is slow. It's never been easier to buy a Ferris. So visit Clinton Tractor today on Meadow Street in Clinton. Ferris, experience suspension, all loans subject to credit approval.
We are the leader in service, Clinton Tractor.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group, and I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney, and the truth is I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. After 15 years and over 50,000 cancellations, I can tell you with confidence, we know how to get you out of your timeshare. Call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit guide absolutely free with all your options for cancellation. Attorneys, this was meant to be funny, so please don't sue me, especially my friend Kenneth from Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-500-8585. That's 800-500-8585. 800-500-8585.
Do you hear that? And that? And that? Those are the sounds of a healthy and vibrant community. And to this United Way volunteer, nothing sounds better. They're the sounds of children being given greater chances to succeed in school. The sounds of neighbors receiving the support needed to overcome challenges, both big and small. They're the sounds of families gaining access to quality health care and nutritious food for their tables. And they're the sounds of members of our community who've benefited from United Way's financial education programs. See, wherever there's a need in our communities, there's a United Way. People working together to respond and growing.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 Utica. From the WB Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
They were shooting at each other. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, but many others were caught in the crossfire last night in Seattle, sending people running at a food festival near the Space Needle.
One of the victims at Harborview Medical Center did not survive their injuries, so now we have a total of 3 fatalities out of those 7 victims.
Seattle Assistant Police Chief Tyrone Davis says they took one shooter into custody.
There was another person that we believe that was also involved that fled the scene. and officers began an active search for that person.
Last night in Germany, police tracked down the suspect in Saturday's Pride Parade attack that left 1 dead and 29 wounded. And when he came at them with a knife, he was shot dead.
On Saturday, thousands gathered in Berlin to celebrate and to protest. On Sunday, many returned to mourn. Eric Müller among them.
The black and bad day for the whole community in Germany, European and the whole world.
Police say the van attack on the LGBTQ Pride event in Germany's capital was an Islamist terror attack.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. The U.S. did not bomb Iran overnight. It's now 3 straight nights without attacks after 13 straight days of resumed American bombing. Iran says as long as that pause continues, it won't go on the attack. U.S. Ambassador to the UN Mike Waltz tells Fox News Sunday talks continue trying to end the conflict.
We've had both Oman and Iran and a number of our other negotiators engaged at every level.
Ukraine has gotten involved.
According to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, this weekend Ukrainian forces struck Iranian vessels that were carrying military cargo between Russia and Iran in the Caspian Sea. Now, the Iranians responded by saying the strikes cannot go unanswered. There are a lot of moving parts in the region, but there's also an ongoing U.S. military buildup to give President Trump a variety of options moving forward.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv, and as the fighting is on hold, oil prices plunged. WTI down more than 7%, over 8% for Brent crude. Gas prices, though, up 11 cents from last Monday. America's listening to Fox News.
If you're looking for a place to grow spiritually in the middle of a busy life, intouch.org is designed for you. Explore practical, biblical teaching from Dr. Charles Stanley, daily devotionals, free study guides, and messages that speak to real-life challenges. Whether you're searching for direction, comfort, or a deeper understanding of God's Word, you'll find tools to help you take the next step. Discover resources that meet you right where you are at intouch.org.
Here it comes. Surprise! There's an avocado shortage! Now half your food truck menu is costing more than it's making you! Also, you're out of napkins!
Those aren't cheap! Progressive knows small business owners usually don't like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise, saving 10% or more on commercial auto insurance when you pay in full.
Also, an ice cream truck stole your parking spot! Looks like you're in a turf war!
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Another immigration crackdown looms in the Trump deportation push.
Sources tell Fox ICE plans to ramp up operations to arrest Haitian nationals whose temporary protected status is ending. The operation's expected to begin as soon as this week. Over 300,000 Haitians have TPS in the U.S. right now. The Supreme Court paved the way for the arrest in a ruling last month. No word yet on what may happen to those who do get arrested. Their home country still considered dangerous. Following the assassination of their president in 2021, Haiti slipped into gang-fueled violence. The U.S. State Department issued a travel advisory this month saying, do not travel to Haiti for any reason. Jill Nato, Fox News.
There is a search for an American from North Carolina who went missing on a trip to the Caribbean.
Elizabeth Liz Waddell, a 44-year-old physical therapist who was on vacation in the Caribbean island of Grenada with a friend. Reports say she left her towel on a pier before going on a swim Wednesday morning. Officials have launched a missing persons investigation with the U.S. State Department now assisting in the search.
Fox's Todd Pyro. While she went missing last week, a California man lost at sea was found alive.
39-year-old Kai Sato was rescued off Hawaii after his sailboat lost its mast. His phone died and the boat ran out of fuel, leaving him drifting far from shipping lanes. Sato says he survived by eating leftover oatmeal, fish, and squid that landed on his boat while collecting condensation for drinking water. After almost a month adrift, he says he managed to reach a shipping route from California to Hawaii, where a passing container ship spotted him and pulled him to safety. Sato says for now he's staying with a relative in Hawaii, but is planning another trip to the Philippines, but this time in a larger vessel. Ted Lindner, Fox News.
On Wall Street, as oil prices plunged, stock futures surged. Dow futures up more than 500 points. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
We have cloudy skies, 64 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM. News time is 7:05. This news update brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net. The offices of the governor and attorney general are asking Madison County Sheriff Todd Hood to rescind its MOA with ICE. Hood signed a memorandum of agreement in 2019 allowing the use of local resources toward ICE initiatives. The letters sent to Hood on Friday is based on Local Cops Local Crimes Act, which was passed in May. It specifically prohibits state and local law enforcement agencies from engaging in civil immigration enforcement. Hood has 1 month to cancel the agreement. Of course, Hood is also running alongside Bruce Blakeman in the race for governor of New York. Blakeman challenging Governor Kathy Hochul, and Hood is his running mate in that race. Thank you, Smitty. Eligible farmers are being urged to apply for relief for significant damages left by extreme weather this spring. Governor Kathy Hochul says federal disaster aid is now available through the Agriculture Department. The storm in central New York mainly impacted growers of apples, strawberries, and grapes. A few dozen people coming together in Ilion protesting what is thought to be a data center that could be coming to the former Remington Arms site. Among the concerns are the use of electricity and water. The property is currently owned by Turin Management, which is considering several options for the site, but has not announced plans in detail. Earlier this month, New York State signed an executive order, Governor Kathy Hochul creating the nation's first moratorium on new hyperscale data centers, temporarily pausing state environmental permits for 1 year. One man facing charges after a domestic incident. Rome police were called to the scene. The Oneida County Sheriff's Office responded as well. Due to an active order of protection, the suspect was not legally allowed to possess a firearm. A search of the home of 31-year-old Jacob Lutz resulted in charges. He faces a felony charge of aggravated family offense, felony charges of criminal possession of a weapon as well, along with allegations of criminal contempt and endangering the welfare of a child. And New Hartford police charging one person after an investigation into several reports of retail theft occurring at the Walmart on Commercial Drive. During the investigation, New Hartford police worked closely with Walmart loss prevention and staff, reviewing surveillance footage related to the larcenies. As a result of the investigation, 46-year-old Katie Fonda of Rome was charged with petty larceny, resisting arrest, misdemeanor petty larceny in connection with those incidents. Fonda was issued appearance tickets related to the charges and transferred to the custody of state police, who say they had open arrest warrants for her on other active larceny cases being investigated by authorities. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time coming up on 7:09. Here's your Weather Center forecast.
All right, going to push around a little patchy fog this morning as we get into the afternoon. A hit or miss shower thunderstorm, otherwise sunshine, clouds. Not a bad Monday. About 85. Tonight, 65. Be a little cooler in the North Country. Tomorrow, a few showers around, maybe a thunderstorm. High near 80 degrees, and there could be some stronger storms in spots tomorrow. Nothing widespread, but we'll keep an eye on it. Wednesday, a few showers, thunderstorms. Highs will be in the low 70s. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stadic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, some clouds, 64 degrees at 7:09. Go ahead, you can turn his mic on. What are you saying over there?
I was just answering a question from our exceptional producer, Davey.
Yes. The Mets salvaged their series finale against the Dodgers on Sunday, 8-3 at Citi Field. Tyrone Taylor went deep, a 3-run homer. The Mets snap a 3-game skid. They host the Atlanta Braves for the start of a 3-game series tonight. The Yankees beat up on Sunday Night Baseball, 11-4 your final. Will Warren took the loss. The Yankees had won 3 straight. They visit the Chicago White Sox for a 4-game series that begins tonight. Carlos Beltran, Andrew Jones, and Jeff Kent all inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown Sunday. Other Hall of Famers filled the stage to celebrate the new inductees. Beltran and Jones are only the third and fourth center fielders elected by the Writers Association in the last half century. Meanwhile, Kent, the first second baseman to join the Hall since Craig Biggio in 2015. This happened over the weekend. LeBron James signing with the Philadelphia 76ers. The contract, a 2-year deal worth $8 million. James said Friday he was pretty sure he played his last game, but after some thought, he believes he can help bring a championship back to Philadelphia. He thanked Miami and Northeast Ohio as he reportedly was considering the Heat and Cavaliers. James also thanked the city of LA, where he just spent the last 8 seasons playing with the Lakers and winning a title in 2020. Smitty, you're shaking your head?
About LeBron James going to Philly?
Yeah.
He's not going to win a championship.
2 years for $8 million.
Yeah, I can't stand LeBron James.
I can't believe
he's a mercenary.
That's virtually free for what was
for
he
what
making?
He pays?
$30 million a year last year?
Yeah, for the Lakers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was making the max.
New Hartford participating in the final tournament, the final 8 in New York State. Unfortunately, they are 0-2 to start. They have one more game in pool play before it's determined who will advance, although their back is against the wall. New Hartford will play Maine Endwell tomorrow morning at 10 a.m.
That will not end well.
Right now, they're 0-2. There's 4 teams in their pool. I think the biggest concern is that they've allowed 11 runs in the first 2 games. So their runs against, which is part of the tiebreaker, is up to 22. And it's not over yet, but their backs are certainly against the wall. Go ahead.
And our Utica Blue Sox correspondent called in and said that the Utica Blue Sox made the playoffs, and they are traveling to Socrates tonight to play in Socrates.
Oh, yes. Socrates, that's right.
Good luck. Good luck to the Blue Sox. What else here? Boonville Oneida County Fair kicks off tomorrow. This week, we're giving away. Now, the Boonville Oneida County Fair is going on this week. We have tickets to the upcoming Herkimer County Fair. Come on down. Let's have some fun. We'll give away.
Aren't they in the same area?
No, well, they're held at a different time.
Yeah, but Boonville's in Herkimer County.
No, it's not. Boonville's in Oneida County. Why do you think the Oneida County Fair is in Boonville?
That's going on this week, and then the Herkimer County Fair is coming up. Is it
3 weeks?
In 3 weeks? Okay, so we'll give you a chance to win tickets for that if you're interested. You mentioned the Blue Sox, Smitty.
Went to Baseball Hall of Fame.
I got to ask about Cooperstown, because you want to say what you said before we went on the air?
It was fun.
It's not what you said.
Not a lot of crowds.
Okay.
I wonder why.
I was kind of disappointed.
Yes, you were. Go ahead and get into it now.
I wonder why.
Because usually there's ex baseball players, like non Hall of Famers, like at the local businesses. Usually bring some people in to sign autographs. Wasn't anybody out. The only one that was Curtis Pride, who I got last year. He played on the Yankees years ago. He was part of one of the World Series teams. He's partially deaf,
So, but nobody else was out doing autographs?
No.
And
usually they have a couple ex-Negro
from the Negro leagues
players out. Everybody was across the street, like getting autographs of like David Ortiz, Joe Torre.
Oh, so those guys were there.
Yeah, but I wasn't going to pay $150,
You gotta pay.
$200, $300 to get an autograph. The cheapest one was like $75.
Yeah, and if you want a picture, you got to pay extra.
Yeah. And then one of the local businesses brought in Rick Monday yesterday from the Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
He was signing autographs.
On a Sunday?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough because it's such an important weekend for them tourism.
Oh, the streets were packed, but the crowds were. It wasn't like normal. It wasn't normal.
Yeah.
It was buzzing around town there. A lot of Carlos Beltran jerseys I seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, Beltran, Andrew Jones, and Jeff Kent, 2 former Mets in there.
Yeah.
Kent was a Met back in my early 90s when I was I'm still a diehard Mets fan, but I mean, I would live and breathe the Mets, despite the fact that they were terrible. Gosh, they were so bad in the early 90s. But I remember
he was part of the deal. He was part of the deal for the Indians. Didn't the Mets trade him to the Indians for Carlos Baerga and Alberto Espinosa? I think I seen that stat yesterday. And he was involved with David Cohn.
No, I think didn't he become a free agent when he left? I don't know if we traded him.
Was he part of the David Cohn deal when he got sent to Toronto?
I would have to double check that.
And unfortunately, the Syracuse Bayheim Armies ended up losing in the TBT yesterday to the La Familia, the Kentucky alumni.
Yeah.
of course, they were out without Eric Diemendorf. But I didn't know this until I was sitting watching the game yesterday. Eric Diemendorf tore his Achilles.
Oh no!
Yeah, so they were out. Wesley Jones and Eric Diemendorf and another player. Syracuse was only playing with 7 men.
Oh wow!
So
That'll run you ragged right there.
All right, coming up later this hour, we'll talk to somebody who is in opposition to some proposed turbines, wind turbines.
Coming up in West Leiden.
I'm in opposition to wind turbines.
In Lewis County. Well, I guess we can talk to you as well. But
they're useless.
And then next hour, I think we're going to be joined by Chuck Lester in Ilion this weekend. Some people getting together to protest the possible data center that was thought to be maybe headed that way.
Yeah, Remington Arms.
Yeah, so we'll talk with Chuck Lester about that as well, although I do not believe he was involved in it.
The dozens of people that'll make a huge impact.
And then I think you and I are going to, I guess, argue about Cooperstown a bit. I want more from Spitty on what he saw yesterday at Cooperstown, but you and I are disagreeing on who's eligible and who could be there. Joining us now, though, is Eben Brown from Fox News Radio.
Oh, yes.
The latest on Iran, what happened over the weekend, the daily bombings from the United States are continuing. Good morning, Eben.
Good morning. They're actually not continuing. We've had 3 nights in which there have been no strikes on Iran. As the White House is saying, there's been a significant amount of damage done to Iranians, the Iranian military capabilities, to their infrastructure, and that maybe this could be a chance for the Iranians to do the right thing and surrender. So we'll see. I imagine in short order. I don't think the fuse will be as long this time as it was last time, where we waited 8 weeks to resume the campaigns. But Iran is still promising to retaliate on people, on other countries that have been helpful to the Americans and the Israelis. And Israel has come out and said, if there's a strike by Iran against us, all bets are off. So this is still a tense situation, but the president is going to give them yet another chance here. So we'll see how this continues.
I did hear him late last week saying, once again, as he said several times, dying to make a deal, begging to make a deal. Right. What is the latest? Are negotiators meeting at this point, or is this just a little bit of a break in the action?
I think there's still an open line of communication, we'll put it that way. Whether or not there's active negotiations is kind of murky. We know that there have been meetings, there have been conversations, probably through either telephone or Zoom calls or something like that, and stuff through intermediates as well. But in terms of concrete sit down, talk across the table, no, that has yet to happen. A lot of these discussions have been through mediators.
Eben Brown from Fox News Radio. Go ahead, Cully.
Hey, Evan, Steve Cully. I'm Jeff's co-host. Just a quick question. This has been going on. Do you see Iran ever putting, their weapons down and surrendering, or are they going to go out on their shield regardless? Like, it doesn't seem like they want to.
Yeah. The thing about Iran is that the Islamic Republic of Iran is a death cult. They want the apocalypse. Yes. They will pursue the apocalypse at all costs. Their goal here is to survive. Right. To survive the American onslaught. If they survive in any which way, however that looks, it's a win for them. So that's kind of what they're after. If they can outlive President Trump, so to speak, because they know how our politics work. They know every 4 to 8 years things change, and if they can get another Barack Obama or Joe Biden in the White House, things will go good for them. And so that is a calculated risk on their part, but also I think President Trump knows that, and he has to balance that with the upcoming midterms, because if the president loses control of Congress, could put a severe curtailing on him in many ways, not just having to do with the war. So I suspect that if the president's party, the Republicans, hold on to the Congress in the midterms, you might see this war ratchet up a lot.
Okay. Eben Brown from Fox News Radio. Thank you, and have a great Monday.
You too.
All right, we will. I think Cully and I are going to kick around some Cooperstown stuff here, because I'm pretty sure I disagree with you.
I didn't say best podcast host in the universe.
You didn't. I appreciate you not doing that. Even though It might be accurate. We don't need to hear it every time you ask a question. Also, did I mention coming up this morning the turbines? We'll talk about proposed turbines up in Lewis County, what's going on up there, and the situation in Ilion, and we'll discuss some other things here on the program as well.
College football.
Monday morning, first news, Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
Do not trust what any CEO ever tells you. Do not trust US Mobile just because I'm telling you. My name is Ahmed Khatak and I'm the founder of US Mobile. US Mobile invented this technology that lets you share data across any of the 3 networks in America. There's more coverage than any single carrier in America because we give you all 3 of them and let you switch between them anytime. Our cheapest plans start as low as $5. They go up to $44, but that $44 plan gives you unlimited priority data in America and keeps you connected in more than 160 countries abroad. US Mobile offers a 30-day free trial. US Mobile has no contracts. We don't lock you down. And over 1 million customers seem to like it. We're a top-rated carrier by Consumer Reports 2 times in a row, and you cannot buy those ratings. All I'm asking for anyone who's listening to this is just Google US Mobile. Just search for US Mobile. Just go to US Mobile subreddit and make a decision for yourself. If you're ready, visit usmobile.com.
Consumer Reports does not endorse products or services.
Hurt in a car? Call William Attar. 315-444-4444.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
The Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills is now accepting new patients. This is Bill Keeler. It is the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic. And right now, the Falcon Clinic is accepting new patients. Since adding some new physicians, a new physician's assistant, including Dr. Cheryl Mattern, they're now accepting new patients. Just call 315-507-4751. And yes, it is the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic, which means they do more. They look deeper. And your appointments are not in and out on your way. You're going to be with the doctor as long as you need to be with the doctor. And if your appointment is at 2 o'clock, you're in shortly thereafter. You're not going to sit around for an hour and a half. That's big. It's the Falcon Clinic. Dr. Kosminski, Dr. Mattern, Dr. Zielinski, Dr. Shemaleski, all under one roof. The Falcon Clinic. Call 315-507-4751.
Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers is a simple, anonymous way to keep our neighborhood safe by reporting crimes anonymously. Cash incentives are available if the tip leads to an arrest. If you see something, say it here. MohawkValleyCrimeStoppers.com or phone in tips at 866-730-TIPS. And registration is now open for the 6th annual Crime Stoppers Golf Outing, Saturday, September 19th at the Shamrock Golf Course in Oriskany. Call Anna for registration forms at 315-269-3924.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, 7:24. First news, Keeler on vacation. Good morning, Cully.
Good morning, Jeffrey.
And good morning, Smitty. Smitty was in Cooperstown over the weekend, and we want to try again. You gonna be honest this time? What you thought about the weekend?
Disappointed.
You were disappointed. Okay, that's.
I went down on Saturday. I didn't go yesterday.
So Sunday's really the busy day. That's the day of the speeches.
Yeah.
Beltran, Andrew Jones, and Jeff Kent. So
hopefully next year I'll be able to go down and watch it in person because I really want to go when one of my all-time favorite Yankees going to get inducted to the Hall of Fame, and that's the man who's in my office staring next to me every morning when I turn my light on.
I didn't know he worked here. What number is he?
Number 23, Don Mattingly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's been a omission for many, many years.
Yeah, he had a great
captain
short run.
It's just, he didn't have a short run. I mean,
well, that's why he's not in yet. If he was a no-doubt Hall of Famer, he'd already be in.
It was because there was a lot of pressure on him to win a championship. He never did. He went to the playoffs once, and I think he played 15 years, right? 10 or 15 years.
Yeah.
But numbers-wise, statistically, he wouldn't match up as some of the better ones.
So, well, it's called the Hall of Fame, not the Hall of Really Good.
Well, the executive committee will bring in the really good. Do I think Don Mattingly is Hall of Fame worthy compared to some of the recent people who've gotten in, players who've gotten in? Yeah, I'd put him in. I don't think he.
Well, when he gets there, Steve, I'm going to be sitting there listening to his induction speech.
He was on the ballot though, right?
Yes,
and then
he fell off, but he was on the executive committee vote this past year, and he came up short.
Yeah,
so hopefully his name comes up again next year, and I will be there sitting listening to his speech.
And wouldn't you say if he didn't play for the Yankees, he would have been in by now? I think it was the pressure of playing in New York because of the expectations of winning a champion, World
But in
Series.
the 90s, the Yankees weren't, well, the late 90s, the Yankees were good, but the earlier 90s, they weren't.
They were disgusting. They were awful.
Yeah.
See, what upsets me, 94, if the strike didn't happen, the Yankees had the best record in the league, and he was playing phenomenal.
Sure was.
95 was his only time in the playoffs.
That's what's against Seattle and Randy Johnson.
Yeah, and then he retired after that.
96 is when they made their
That's
run
when
and
started.
Joe Torre.
Yeah.
So, something you were saying, and I guess, this isn't a new debate. Obviously, this has gone on forever, but I guess you are in favor, based on comments you made when we were off the air, you're in favor of the steroid guys and Pete Rose all getting in?
100%. Yes, because everyone was taking PEDs based on...
You say everyone. It wasn't everyone.
In 2003, when they did the blind testing and they saw the results from it, the number was staggering. And then there were guys who ended up failing, like A-Rod, like Clemens, or Clemens. I don't think Clemens actually failed. He came out and admitted to it. Pettit admitted to it. But none of those guys actually... Barry Bonds never failed a test. And he still denies his usage to this day. He went to federal court and won. Roger Clemens went to federal court and won.
I don't know about that.
No, they did.
Won what? They sued somebody?
They were charged with obstruction of justice and perjury.
They testified before Congress. I know that, but
yes, but
I don't know what you mean. They won.
They went to federal court. They were tried.
Okay, so we're talking about them in the context of the steroid era. So when you say they won, like they had their name cleared. Do you dispute that they took steroids?
Personally, I don't think Clemens did.
Okay.
Bonds probably. Yeah.
But I think Bonds, I don't think has ever admitted to it.
And he was never proven. And that's what I'm saying. Like, steroid tests are
there's
notoriously
no question
hard to beat.
Bonds, Clemens, Sosa, McGuire took steroids. A-Rod.
Clemens, I don't think. If you look at him physically,
his buddy Andy Pettit even said he did.
Yeah, I know, and that caused a strain between the relationship, and it
Sure.
was
So
a
you think
comment in
Pettit's
the
lying?
locker room. Yeah, I do. I think he misheard him, and that's what Clemens said when he testified before Congress.
Clemens famously said, I think Andy's misremembered.
Misremembered. But he was charged in federal court for perjury because of that. He went to federal court, and he won.
Okay. Well, look, listen.
Found not guilty.
So in your opinion, those are just steroid era guys? Those aren't steroid guys?
I think it was part of the time, just like when Ty Cobb played.
What do you mean part of the time?
There's different eras of baseball, like the slow ball era. When Ty Cobb and then Babe Ruth comes along and things pick up. Then you had the 60s with the M&M brothers, with Maris and Mantle. It's a product of the time. And the
What does that have to do with steroids, though?
It was the steroid era.
Well, what I'm saying is we referred to them as the steroid era guys, which I get. I know what time frame you're talking about, but you don't think they took steroids.
I don't think Clemens. I don't think Clemens.
You said everybody did, but not Clemens, not Bonds, not the guys who are
I think
renowned and notorious.
I said Bonds
associated with steroids.
I said Bonds did. I agreed with you on Sosa. McGuire has come out and said that he did. Bonds has never said that he did.
Right.
Do I think that he did? Probably.
Okay.
But do I think he belongs in the Hall of Fame? 100%. He was a Hall of Famer before the steroid era began.
So, look, they do have some memorabilia,
and so
in
was
there
Clemens
with Bonds and Clemens because
Yeah.
they've set other records, and so there's bats and cleats and gloves and photos and pieces commemorating their achievements. They just haven't been officially inducted. They don't have a bust in the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. But so. And you're okay with them getting that? I mean, obviously the argument is they cheat. If they did steroids, then they cheated.
Well, that's the other thing. People don't have an understanding of how steroids work, Jeff. You and I
listen,
could take steroids.
I don't have an understanding exactly of how steroids work, but certainly it is banned for a reason.
Yeah, but I'm saying you and I can go take steroids.
Okay.
We can get jacked, gassed to the gills.
Yep.
It's not going to make us a great baseball player.
Okay, but
it's going to take a good athlete and make him a great athlete.
Okay. Isn't that rewarding people who cheated, A, and B, isn't it unfair to the other people who didn't take steroids?
I don't consider it cheating because, again, it was a product of the time when it was actually legal up until, I believe, 2003, Davey, if you can check. They didn't test for steroids until 2003, I believe. I don't think it was cheating. I think it was a product of their time. And to not have the all-time home run hitter, to not have the strikeout king, Roger Clemens, in the Hall of Fame, Pettit belongs in the Hall of Fame, I think is wrong. And, you're not putting the best players of the game where they belong in the Hall of Fame, just like Pete Rose.
I'm kind of okay with it on the steroid front because I feel like they cheated. Also, when you talk about the records like the most home runs, right? How many of those balls, if he wasn't on steroids, would have been a fly ball to the warning track?
Would he have broken the home run record? No. But he, as I said, he was a Hall of Famer before the steroid era. He was a Hall of Famer while he was with the Pittsburgh Pirates, Barry Bonds. If his career had stopped in 2000, he would have been in the Hall of Fame.
So if I was taking a test, right, and I was going to pass it anyway, but I looked at the answer key and cheated, so I got 100 instead of the 92 I was going to get or the 87 I was going to get. That's okay? It's not actually considered cheating because I was going to pass the test anyway?
I am not. I do not. I would not count it as cheating. No. The word cheating to me is different than a product of the time.
Okay, so
the era.
Gaming, getting an edge, an unfair edge, maybe?
Was it giving him an edge? Yes, but he was also playing against players who had an edge. Jeff Bagwell was someone who had an edge. Ken Caminetti had an edge. That era had so many. David Ortiz, I believe, flunked the first test when they did the blind testing in 2003 because players wanted to clean up the game because they felt that they had to take PEDs just to stay relevant, to make rosters.
Tim says, look at Clemens' rookie card, and then later in his career, definitely took steroids. I don't even think there's an argument.
He did. Later in his career, his numbers spiked. Absolutely. But his best year, I believe, was with the Blue Jays before he ended up with the Yankees. But again, Roger Clemens, Hall of Famer before he took steroids, allegedly. But again, Roger Clemens, Barry Bonds, they fought tooth and nail, have never admitted to steroid use, never flunked a steroid test, went to federal court on perjury and obstruction of justice charges, and were found not guilty. What more? And Roger Clemens said it. What more can I do?
But you say, and again, you say found not guilty like there was a trial or something.
There was a trial.
No, there wasn't a trial.
There were 2 trials for Roger Clemens.
Okay, we need to fact check this. Smitty, do you want to jump on the fact check?
Roger Clemens' first trial was a mistrial.
They testified before.
Yes, but they got charged. Barry Bonds got charged with perjury because of his testimony to Congress where I believe he admitted or said something about using the cream or the clear, but he made a statement that they said was perjury. Roger Clemens has 2 trials because the prosecutor brought up something in his opening statement that was off limits. And
you know what? You are correct. I forgot about this mistrial.
Yeah, there was a mistrial right away. They had a second trial. He was found not guilty on 2 of the top charges. He was guilty on one of the charges, but I believe they appealed it, and I'm not sure if they got it overturned or not. Barry Bonds was found not guilty on both of his charges.
So let's see.
Or he
Federal
might-
jury acquitted Roger Clemens on 6 criminal counts accusing him of lying to Congress about his alleged use of performance-enhancing drugs.
So it's like, what more do you want the guy to do? He said he didn't do it.
I want him to not use steroids.
He said he didn't. He didn't fail a test. If you could point to me a failed test from Roger Clemens, I would agree with you. He didn't flunk a test. He testified. He went before Congress on his own volition. He wanted to clear his name. He did as much as he could to clear his name. He took this to federal court, and he didn't have to. He could have taken a plea agreement.
All right, Ja Wick says Cully for president.
I'm just saying that.
And OJ was not guilty, right?
OJ was not guilty.
He was not
no.
guilty, but
No.
he didn't kill anybody.
No, he didn't kill anybody.
Right.
No, OJ's good. But I'm telling you,
I thought I was naive. I tend to be. I think there's some things I'm naive about, but
Jeff, I
think you're in first place.
Roger Clemens, okay.
You're taking my cake.
If he didn't fail a steroid test at a time where they were testing quite frequently, he didn't fail it. It was Jose Canseco who wrote the book Juiced and called everyone out, and he put in names of people that didn't use, Roger Clemens being one of them, I believe. And that's what blew everything up, Jose Canseco's book Juiced. And then they did the Mitchell Report. The Mitchell Report came out, and Clemens' name was mentioned 1,000 times. Bond's name was mentioned 1,000 times. All I'm saying is Bonds and Clemens never failed a test. They Bonds testified in front of Congress. Clemens testified in front of Congress. Nothing really came of it. They end up getting charged federally with perjury, lying to Congress, whatever. They take it to federal court, and they're found not guilty. And as Clemens said, what else am I supposed to do?
Not guilty of perjury. I don't.
Yeah. Well, perjury being, did you use steroids? No, I didn't. What do you want him to do?
Cully, I feel like everybody knows this. Why? All right, we got to move on. There's. We'll talk about the wind turbines coming up. You know what? I think you made a decent case. I really do. I still completely disagree with you.
I got my law degree on
what?
Twitter.
I forgot about the whole Clemens
and the
being
Mitchell
tried
Report
for perjury
and Bonds did too.
Not guilty. They cheated. There's just no way around it.
Okay. Then again, I say, show me where is.
Fair enough.
Turtle Boy's prosecuting attorney said, "Where's the beef? Where's the beef, Jeff?"
It is 7:38. It is a Monday morning. First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX. Smitty, let's do the Herkimer County Fair tickets. We'll take caller 4 right now, 315-736-0186. Coming back, we'll talk about something local that's going on and some opposition to it. Proposed wind turbines, more here in central New York. We'll tackle that coming up next on WIBX.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter.
Is your business the best at what you do? Then you should be a Central New York's industry ace. Our industry aces are made up of the best businesses in the region, and will help you tell your story to thousands of consumers in the Mohawk Valley. With a combination of on-air and online testimonial commercials, along with targeted social media ads that are guaranteed to reach the consumers you want to be talking to. And best of all, these messages are coming directly from you. Interested in learning more? Contact Megan Powers at 315-768-9500.
The summer sale is on at Mattress Express. Get a king for the price of a queen for the price of a full, and a full for the price of a twin. Ask how to get upgraded to an adjustable base for free. Go to mattressexpressny.com.
People of all ages can experience any level of discomfort for knee pain, hip pain, back pain, and you know what? It could be stemming from your feet. This is Bill Keeler. The Good Feet Store is here to help, and there are so many that swear by these inserts that go into your shoes and make all the difference in the world when it comes to pain. It's a 3-step system: strengtheners, maintainers, and relaxers. There are a whole program that you follow, and it could very well change your life when it comes to pain. It's called the Good Feet Store. No obligation. You can walk right in for a free fitting and test walk. No appointment is needed. You can walk right in. They're located now in New Hartford at 4630 Commercial Drive in New Hartford. Get directions, make an appointment if you like, ask questions, 315-999-3910. It's the Good Feet Store, 315-999-3910.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group, and I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney, and the truth is I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. After 15 years and over 50,000 cancellations, I can tell you with confidence, we know how to get you out of your timeshare. Call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit guide absolutely free with all your options for cancellation. Attorneys, this was meant to be funny, so please don't sue me, especially my friend Kenneth from Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-500-8585. That's 800-500-8585. 800-500-8585.
I got to push around a little patchy fog this morning as we get into the afternoon. Hit or miss shower, thunderstorm, otherwise sunshine, clouds. Not a bad Monday. About 85. Tonight, 65. Be a little cooler in the North Country. Tomorrow, a few showers around, maybe a thunderstorm. High near 80 degrees, and there could be some stronger storms in spots tomorrow. Nothing widespread, but we'll keep an eye on it. Wednesday, a few showers, thunderstorms. Highs will be in the low 70s. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagik, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Celebrating 100 years. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, we're back. First news, Keeler on vacation. Manaski and Cully filling in here this morning with our man, Uncle Smitty. Joining us in studio is Jamie Dinas, and she's talking about a proposed project in Lewis County involving wind turbines in West Leiden and Lewis.
In Lewis, and it's going down into Oneida County, also in Ava.
Oh, in Ava as well. Mm-hmm. Okay, so talk about some of the concerns that you have and what's the latest going on with this project.
Well, just like we had that town board meeting there last Monday, and one of the big concerns with us is, questions aren't really being answered. It's pretty vague. Like I found on the Department of Public Services, the preliminary wildlife studies, and the issue for us is there's vast amounts of it is redacted, blacked out maps. They don't want to tell you what's there. They don't want to tell you what the concerns are. One of the things that was written there that they didn't see an eagle nest within 2 miles of the property. That's a lie. We see them all the time, monarch butterflies. That's a crazy statement to say it's not there. People sit up and ask questions. There's varying things that were taken as notes in the meeting about how tall that these are going to be. I have one of the contracts, and it doesn't mention the height anywhere. And in the meeting, the owner said, well, we're up to the mercy of GE, the manufacturer, what size they'll be making at the time. That ranges in huge numbers. You know, like there's ones that are going up in Fenner that are 700 feet. And one person asked him how tall they're going to be, and he said that they're going to be like 350 to the cell with 250, 300 foot long blades. So you're pushing 700 feet. And there's an article in the Observer Dispatch of last year, 2025. In Fenner, New York, they're going to put up 700 foot tall wind turbines, and they're worried about the interference of the microwaves between the 911 towers. So, like, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of variants. There's a lot of things that are wishy-washy. And what really bothers me, this guy, Dave Sinai, the owner of Green Power Energies, who's doing this project, he's putting up a small wind turbine farm in the town where he lives called Cody Road Wind Farm. And the way he did it was he went to the town and he negotiated the setbacks and he talked about it with the town and made the offer and then went out and did the project. And it's mostly on his land. Here, they're going to the landowners first, backdoor. Some people signed in 2024. Nothing has been talked to our town about this. Nobody's made any negotiations. All he says is we'll get money. We have no idea what that is. New York State Power Authority can choose after this is up to become 51% owner in this project, which means they're tax exempt.
So what is when you say the town board, is it West Leyden or Lewis?
It's town of Lewis, but it's in West Leyden, New York. Yeah, it's really weird how like some of the towns are. We have town of Leyden, town of Lewis. So.
And there's overlap.
Yes, exactly.
What are they touting as the benefit to the residents who aren't part of this deal?
None. Like, you don't know what you're going to get. I went up to Copenhagen and spoke to this woman that unfortunately lives next to a damaged windmill that is screaming like 24/7. It's been making an insane, I have the video here. It's making an insane amount of noise. It's been doing this for 7 months. It's going to take the crane to come back in and replace the blade. They are not going to pay for, they won't shut it down. They're not doing anything for her. She has to give melatonin to her grandkids to sleep. They had to super soundproof their home because it's screaming, 24/7. So we don't know anything of what's going to come to there's no negotiations first. There's no talk to the town. The board meeting last Monday night on the 20th was the first time this guy ever talked to our town board.
Interesting. There's always strong opposition to these when they come up. As a private landowner, do you think the landowner, whether it's a farmer or just somebody who owns a lot of land, they have the right to sell?
Well, that's
for that purpose.
This is like we're right on the cusp of sovereignty of land ownership. We have 500 acres. It's a dairy farm that went into crop farming, right?
That's what you do.
No. I'm a landscaper gardener, but my father there's people on there crop farming. So we have 500 acres and we're surrounded by multiple people, a couple farmers, bigger landowners, stuff like that. The problem with what I feel about this is becoming like infringement on our rights too. There's a common law of nuisance, and then there's their sovereignty to do with their land. This is not putting up a pole barn. If these are 700 feet tall, and he went in there and said 20 towers. All the paperwork he has submitted to Department of Public Services says 50 towers. So there's a discrepancy there. If you're talking about 50 towers, 700 feet tall, wheeling in the sky, all the views, you will not be able to escape a 700-foot tower from anywhere on our property. You will hear them, you will see them through our entire town. So I worked on 3 different wind farms, Maple Ridge, Chateaugay, and Cohocton. Maple Ridge was 195 towers, just about the same in Chateaugay. Cohocton, I think we had less. I think we started with like 75. But they make a real impact on your local community, And the woman up in Copenhagen that has one screaming in her ear right now, she was offered $1,000 a year for 10 years as a neighboring non-participating thing. She's like, no, not even close. Then she was offered $5,000. She's like, no, because the moment you take that money, it is an NDA and you are not allowed to complain after that. You're done. So she was like, I'm not going to take the money and not be able to speak out. And thank God she didn't, because now, I'm bringing notice to this because I feel terrible for her. But there's a lot of stuff that people don't talk about.
When you say you worked on the farms, help construct them, or you worked on
roads, like building roads, taking care of all the environmental stuff. Like the first one that I worked on, Maple Ridge, I was in charge of most of the environmental, the SWIPs, stormwater protection, working hand in hand. trying to work hand in hand with the DEC, but because with these green power companies and stuff, DEC is like puts the blinders on. The stuff that I saw go on in there, the 1,500 gallon diesel fuel spill became our next parking lot. Like stuff happens that people don't. The lever got left down in the fuel truck. This kind of stuff happens all the time. And people want to be like, no, it's all green. And in this meeting the other night, he was asked about the birds, and I brought up the wildlife studies, and he's like, oh, no impact on wildlife. I'm like, no, I worked on 3 of them. I saw dead birds and bats around the bottom. You can't tell me that didn't happen. I saw it all the time. We would be sent out to clean up the birds if someone was coming,
Of course.
They don't, they're not gonna let them sit around.
What are the benefits of the wind turbines to the community?
As one woman stood up and asked, are you able to put these up without taxpayer money and subsidies? And he went dead silent, and the answer is pretty much no. So the benefit, I would say, would be the money to the landowners. We don't get the power. He admitted in the meeting that it goes to New York City. It's going to hit the gate, go down. That's it. So if the pilot is negotiated properly, I guess we would get some money, but we don't know the amount.
So the turbines would be put up in this area, and the power
leaves
would go to New York City.
Correct. That's how they all leave. The Fenner Madison wind turbine project, that was the first one in the area of New York State. And then Maple Ridge was one of the next ones. Neither one set up a substation where they would provide municipal power to the local communities, which, brilliant, right? These were the first wind farms east of the Mississippi that did not do that for the local communities. They should have set up something. Who doesn't want free power? Little ladies on fixed incomes, tell them that they got no electric bill. Our electric bills in West Leiden last year hit $700, $800, $900, like in a blip, So,
are you also National Grid up there?
My house particularly is on Boonville Municipal, but yes, the rest, you go outside of there a little bit, everybody's National Grid.
Yeah. You said, do you have a video where people can kind of hear what that, is this what the wind turbines typically sound like, or did you say this one's busted?
This one is damaged. They came and fixed it, but it's not fixed. The other... You can hear the other turbine also, the one next to it. This is 1,800 feet from where I'm recording, but the other turbine that is working correctly, it sounds like a jet engine, like you're
constantly.
Whoosh, whoosh. The broken one, no, it makes far more noise. Do you want me to just play this?
Yeah, sure. You can just hold it right up to the microphone. And we're joined by Jamie Dinas, who is a concerned concerned resident.
We are 1,800 feet from these windmills in Copenhagen, New York. That noise is from the windmill.
That's 1,800 feet.
Yeah, I'll show you the video. How far we are. I'll show you which one it is.
Wow, it sounds like a haunted house with that.
7 months.
And it's constant.
If the wind is blowing, she's gone.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to live near that, that's for sure. So it's interesting you have experience.
It's the furthest tower.
Wow. Wow. That is pretty far away.
So far away.
Is there any legal recourse that can be taken because the landowners already made agreements?
So they came in and did a decibel study, right? So they set up this box. It's supposed to be, because in their town statutes, just like we are trying to put together in ours, you have a decibel limit at 1,200, 15, whatever feet you set. They were supposed to test the decibel limit at 1,200 or 1,500 feet. I couldn't remember. She's at 1,800 feet, obviously. They set it up at 1,700 feet at her place. They put up a box for 30 days, tested it, right? Well, what wasn't disclosed to her is the 30 days of testing. They just plucked 1 hour of the wind turbine on and 1 hour of the turbine off.
They cherry-picked.
They cherry-picked, and then even better yet, when she said, well, can we have the study because we want third-party analysis of your study, they're like, oh, no, we paid for the study. We own it. You can't take our study. So they're little people. Once they come, there's so much money. The lawyers are so powerful. this is what I was trying to do with my public meetings before people. I didn't realize how many people signed until just a few weeks ago. We saw the contracts, and some people signed in 2024. So I was doing public meetings. Yeah, it's all backdoor. They didn't come to the town first. Yeah, they do it because then now the town is divided, right? Like it's people feeling betrayed. Neighbors of 50 years, friends of 50 years, never said anything to you. And now, like, I put a post on Facebook. I'm like, do the right thing. Tell your neighbors that you're getting a windmill, because give them the chance to leave, or maybe buy them out with your windmill money, because when they start rotating, good luck getting a decent buyer for your property. Do right by your neighbor and tell them what is happening.
So Doug here with a question, and I guess I kind of asked this earlier, but I'll let you react to it again. Should the people have the right to do what they want with their own property? And I get that, but everybody's impacted by this.
It's a 700-foot tower. Like one guy that I talked to a lot, he's like, well, I'm going to build a 700-foot tall casino on my land, and you're going to listen to it and look at it? No, the zoning restricts your infringement on your neighboring people. You have the right to be able to enjoy your land the way you'd like to. This is going to be for everywhere. You won't escape them.
He says, I believe the town of Lewis passed a 1-year moratorium.
Yes.
Is that an option, putting this in? Using this as like a roadblock to...
You can do a 1-year moratorium, but this ORES, the Office of Renewable Energy Siting, that's what this guy, the owner of Green Power Energies, they go and get the landowners to sign, and then they go to ORES and submit, and ORES can come over the top of the town, change your setbacks, change your moratoriums.
What is this, ORES?
ORES, ORES.
All right.
And it's the Office of Renewable Energy Siting. They were formed in 2020 under the dark of COVID. They are unelected officials. Yeah. They have thrown the DEC out of their meetings. Like, they don't want the input from the DEC. They're not listening to the major problems that we're going to face on this stuff. It's just the green energy push,
Are there any other areas in the state that are being targeted?
Tons.
Oh, there are.
Oh, there are so many wind farms. Like, there's 3. There's Rolling Hills. There's a couple different wind farms I was just looking at.
And they're all go over to the city.
Yeah, there's no one's making municipal power. Like,
and
it's all...
the people who have them built on their property, how much money are they getting?
Right now...
Is it a year? Or no?
It's a year. So what we're hearing right now is $30,000 per windmill per year. Mm-hmm. So... Another thing is, like, with the size, like the contract that I have and the notes from the person, because there's nothing in the contract that says how tall they're going to be, like I said, and they're at the mercy of the manufacturer what size they're going to be making at the time. These notes from this person said that it's going to be 5 megawatt towers, because then you get paid $6,000 per megawatt per year, so that's a $30,000 bill per windmill. Some people are getting 2 or 3. So that's $90,000.
That'll divide the town for sure.
100%.
So, obviously a hot topic. You talked about these meetings that you host. Where can people get more information? How can they join the cause?
Cool. Right now, we're going to work on a website, maybe a different Facebook page, because that's the easiest. But anyone who would like to get a hold of me, I'm on Facebook. You can message me, Jamie, Jamie, Dines, Deines. You can message me on Facebook, call me. I'll give you any information I have. I'm also starting up a Give, Send, Go that we'll be collecting for lawyers' fees. I plan on fighting this.
Do you have an attorney right now?
We're getting there. I'm in the selecting process, because it's really hard. You got to stay away from the ones that conflicting interests.
I have one for you.
You do? Excellent. Love to talk to him.
Herb Cully.
Beautiful.
315-525-4422. Call him anytime for any needs that you have.
Thank you.
We'll make sure
that's
you get
great.
the
Yeah,
number
that's
you go.
awesome. No, I appreciate that. I don't like how this was done backdoor. We don't know what the town's going to get. Like up north, pilot fees were negotiated for a huge solar farm. The Lewis County IDA is going to get $14 million. I don't know what the only money I saw that is going back to the residents is $625,000 over 10 years. That's going to be like $10 a month for 10 years. Like, it should come back to the taxpayers.
We are unfortunately out of time this hour. 7:59. Jamie Dines again, Deines. talking about the turbine situation in Lewis County. Thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you,
Keep us
guys.
updated, please.
Thanks.
A quick timeout. We'll have a news update on the other side on WIBX.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 From the WB Payne Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
The U.S. did not bomb Iran for a third straight night. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, pausing attacks after resuming them for 13 days in a row, allowing talks now to ramp back up. As for reports, the U.S. is concerned about our weapons stockpile. Ambassador to the UN Mike Waltz tells Fox News Sunday.
We have everything we need to conduct this campaign. And this is because of the investments President Trump made right out the gate in our military.
Iran has also paused attacking, but its foreign minister is not happy Ukraine's joined the conflict, saying a deadly attack on an Iranian ship cannot go unanswered.
Ukraine says it targeted a Russian warship and vessels used for transporting Iranian-linked military cargo. But Iran insists it has never intervened in the conflict between Russia and Ukraine. Kyiv also claims Russia has been carrying out surveillance of U.S. military bases on behalf of Iran.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. The U.S.-Iran pause in fighting has oil prices plunging more than 7%, but their recent rise back up has cost us at the gas pump.
The gasoline price cutting lasted 7 weeks, handing consumers back about 71 cents per gallon, but now prices are climbing again. In the past 2 weeks, they're up 22 cents to $4.10 for regular grade.
That's an industry analyst Trilly Lindbergh's survey of gas stations. A manhunt continues in Seattle for a second gunman after a shooting last night at a food festival near the Space Needle. 7 people caught in the crossfire. 3 died.
We believe that we have no outstanding threat to the community. We do have one suspect that is being interviewed.
Assistant Seattle Police Chief Tyrone Davis. In Germany, police tracked down the man who attacked a pride parade Saturday, killing 1, wounding 29.
A 21-year-old German citizen called Abdul B by police of Lebanon origin was shot and killed by police, cornered in another part of Berlin after a nearly 24-hour manhunt.
That's Fox's Greg Palcott. America's listening to Fox News.
Everyone walks through seasons of uncertainty, but you don't have to walk through them alone. At intouch.org, you'll find messages of hope, biblical truth, and encouragement from Dr. Charles Stanley, available anytime you need it. Dive into devotionals, watch sermons, or explore resources that help you draw closer to God day by day. When you're ready to refocus your heart and renew your faith, visit intouch.org. It may be exactly what your soul needs today.
Here it comes. Surprise! There's an avocado shortage! Now half your food truck menu is costing more than it's making you! Also, you're out of napkins!
Those aren't cheap! Progressive knows small business owners usually don't like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise, saving 10% or more on commercial auto insurance when you pay in full.
Also, an ice cream truck stole your parking spot! Looks like you're in a turf war!
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
There is a key meeting about the Iran conflict tomorrow at the White House, where President Trump will host Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who tells Fox Sunday Morning Futures the conflict will end.
When this regime is either toppled or it's sufficiently weakened that it knows it has to end its nuclear program and has to change its course. That's really what President Trump is trying to achieve. And I back his fully.
Today, the president will hit the road, going to Michigan.
President Trump visits General Motors' Milford Proving Ground near Detroit today, a massive vehicle testing facility. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says the president's remarks will be focused on the economy. President Trump has argued his tariff policy is bringing back manufacturing jobs and investments, including from major automakers. But voters are so far unsold heading into the midterm elections, with a majority telling pollsters they disapprove of the president's handling of the economy. Early voting is underway in Michigan, and the state's primary election for Senate and governor's races is next Tuesday. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Tomorrow, the Federal Reserve will start a 2-day meeting to assess the economy, which is expected to end Wednesday with no change in interest rates. On Wall Street, a stock market rally is brewing. Dow futures up more than 500 points. At the movies, the king of the box office still reigns.
Promise me you will come back.
What if I can't?
Christopher Nolan's epic adventure, The Odyssey, shows no signs of slowing, pulling in an amazing $87 million in its second weekend in North American theaters. The biggest surprise, The Odyssey held strong, with ticket sales slipping only 30% from its massive $123.5 million debut. Disney's Moana and Toy Story 5 battled for the next spots on the chart, bringing in $10.5 million and $10 million, respectively.
That's Carmen Roberts. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
We have cloudy skies. Currently, we are at 67 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 8:05. The offices of Governor Kathy Hochul and Attorney General Letitia James are asking Madison County Sheriff Todd Hood to rescind an MOA with ICE. Hood signed the Memorandum of Agreement in 2019, allowing the use of local resources toward ICE initiatives. The letter sent to Hood on Friday is based on the Local Cops Local Crimes Act passed in May. It specifically prohibits state and local law enforcement agencies from engaging in civil immigration enforcement. Hood has 1 month to cancel the agreement. Of course, he is the running mate of Bruce Blakeman, who is challenging Governor Kathy Hochul for the governor's office in this November's election. Eligible farmers can apply for relief for significant damages left by extreme spring weather. Governor Kathy Hochul says federal disaster aid is now available through the state agriculture department's website. A few dozen people gathering in Ilion to protest what is thought to be a data center that's been proposed for the former Remington site in Ilion. Protesters say noise pollution is among their concerns, along with increased costs for electricity and water. Earlier this month, Governor Hochul signed an executive order that creates the nation's first moratorium of zoning for data centers, temporarily pausing state environmental permits for up to 1 year. A Rome man arrested following a domestic incident. The United County Sheriff's Office was called to Rome for the incident in progress. Due to the nature, deputies say members of the Criminal Investigation Unit were contacted and assigned. Due to an active order of protection, the suspect was not legally allowed to possess any firearms. 31-year-old Jacob Lutz now faces felony charges of criminal possession of a weapon, aggravated family offense, along with misdemeanor charges of criminal contempt and endangering the welfare of a child. And New Hartford police making an arrest in connection with several reports of retail theft at the Walmart on Commercial Drive. Police charging 46-year-old Katie Fonda of Rome with petty larceny, resisting arrest, and another charge of petty larceny in connection with a prior incident at the Walmart on Commercial Drive. She was also turned over to the custody of state police, who say they had an open arrest warrant for her on other active larceny cases being investigated by New York State Police. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 8:08. Here's your Weather Center forecast.
I got to push around a little patchy fog this morning as we get into the afternoon. Got to miss shower, thunderstorm, otherwise sunshine, clouds. Not a bad Monday. About 85. Tonight, 65. Be a little cooler in the North Country. Tomorrow, a few showers around, maybe a thunderstorm. High near 80 degrees. And there could be some stronger storms in spots tomorrow. Nothing widespread, but we'll keep an eye on it. Wednesday, a few showers, thunderstorms. Highs will be in the low 70s. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stadic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Cloudy skies, 67 degrees at 8:09. From the IBEW Local 43 Sports Desk, Mets win, Yankees lose. Yankees blown out last night, the Sunday night game of the week, as they lost in Philadelphia 11-4. Will Warren takes the loss. The Pinstripes had won 3 straight. They now head to Chicago to open a series against the White Sox tonight. The Mets salvaged their series finale against the Dodgers at home 8-3. Tyrone Taylor went deep. The Mets snap a 3-game skid. They host the Atlanta Braves for a 3-game series that begins tonight. In Cooperstown, Carlos Beltran, Andruw Jones, and Jeff Kent all inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Other Hall of Famers filled the stage to celebrate the new inductees. Beltran and Jones, the only the third and fourth center fielders elected by the Baseball Writers Association of America in the last 50 years. Meanwhile, Kent is the first second baseman to join the Hall of Fame since Craig Biggio in 2015. LeBron James signing with the Philadelphia 76ers, reportedly a 2-year deal worth $8 million. Where's the beef? Where is the money in that contract? I don't know. It just seems odd to me.
Stop stealing my lines.
Let's see. Jackson Coven wins the 3M Open. He held off Scotty Scheffler yesterday. And then, Smitty, tell me about the NASCAR race here. The name is what sticks out to me.
It's Corey Haim. He's a part-time driver for 23X Racing, which is owned by Michael Jordan and part owner by Denny Hamlin. It's his second victory. He won the inaugural race in San Diego a couple weeks ago on the military base. And he's the youngest driver since Jeff Gordon to win in the Brickyard. He's 24 years old. Like I said, he's only part-time. And Saturday was the first time ever that he got in the car and drove around the Brickyard, Indianapolis.
Wow. And he won the race. So just the name, Corey Haim?
Yes, Corey Haim.
Wasn't there a child actor, Corey Haim, who passed away?
Haim.
Okay.
So he won the Truck Series championship last year.
Also want to mention New Hartford, of course. They're playing in the New York State Little League Tournament. It's down to the final 8 teams. It's pool play, so they're guaranteed 3 games. Unfortunately, they are off to an 0-2 start.
Yeah.
What else here? Oh, and the Utica Blue Sox made the playoffs. They're playing at Saugerties today. And thanks to our man Stefan for calling in and filling us in on that.
And unfortunately, the TBT $2 million basketball tournament, if you were rooting for Boeheim's Army, unfortunately they lost to La Familia, the Kentucky alumni, last night in the semifinals.
All right, so as Ja Wick would say, I've got several comments here on YouTube.
Are they about me?
There's a couple about you.
Then I have no interest. If they are about me, I do. But if they're not, then I have no interest.
Yeah, well, as Ja Wick would say, I don't know what these comments are in reference to, so I'm not going to read them. No, I'm kidding. There's some baseball ones here. A couple of funny ones on Barry Bonds. He has a head like a huge medicine ball. Someone else said
a melon.
Beach ball head syndrome. Ja Wick says beach ball head syndrome. And then somebody else said he has a head like a prize-winning pumpkin. That's pretty funny. Cully for president. I don't know if I want to live in that country.
I may run. I could be a write-in.
Let's see. Nick says put Maris in.
See, he's right. Who said that?
Nick.
No, I said that.
Oh, you said that. Yeah, but I don't.
His numbers don't.
There's widespread disagreement on that.
There is. His numbers aren't even close.
Pitching has not been strong for New Hartford in the tournament. That's what Deed says. Yeah, I saw they gave up 11 runs in each of the first 2 games.
I'd like to comment on that, if possible.
The old lady from Wendy's commercial is where the beef is.
Yes,
not you, Cully.
I know. But the reason I said it was because it was said in the Turtle Boy trial. As you know, I love Turtle Boy. But New Hartford, this is what we run up against. We win the Section 3 finals for football. We go down to the state playoffs, and we lose in Section 4. We didn't play Maine Endwell. Maine Endwell typically wins. But you see the disparity in talent from our region to the rest of the state. And that is what is so frustrating.
Well, I completely disagree.
Oh, okay. Well, you're wrong then.
Well, there's only 8 teams left, and New Hartford's one of them. When you say that, they have a very good team. What do you mean the disparity in talent?
When you get to the upper levels, I think there's a huge disparity in talent. We run through everyone in basketball, and then when we get to the playoffs...
Well, who's we?
New Hartford.
New Hartford specifically.
New Hartford specifically. Whitesboro did well. But I'm just saying for our region, for Section 3,
well, I do understand
compared to the rest of the state,
bigger teams, right, with a bigger pool of potential players and athletes. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wish New York State.
But it's not like they couldn't win. It's not like New Hartford couldn't win.
I'd like to see us win. I just don't think we take sports seriously enough like other states do. New York is one of the few states that allow, well, not one of the few, they allow spring football. But the majority of teams, especially in this area, don't take advantage of it. High school teams.
Okay. I don't think I could disagree more. You think New York State doesn't take sports seriously?
Football, especially for the size of our state, for the number of kids that play Division I football, we're one of the lowest.
Okay.
And Pennsylvania is right next door to us. They send twice as many kids to play Division I football than New York State, probably more than that.
Okay.
And I'm just saying that by the size of our state, we should be producing more as far as Division I football players.
Okay. As far as the baseball goes, New Hartford's got a great team, and they
I'm sure they do.
They're in the final 8.
Congratulations, Mazel Tov to them.
Yes, congratulations. They have one more game. They're guaranteed one more game. They'll play tomorrow morning at 10, I believe.
They won districts, correct?
Yep.
Okay, where do you go after districts? Regionals?
Essentially, that might not be what it's called because it's like regionals. I don't know, super regionals. And
then it's the final for the state, and then you go to Little League World Series, correct?
I believe so. I believe New York will have one representative. I'm not an expert on how this
it's
plays
great
out
for them.
from here.
I hope they do well, but I just think overall in our area for athletics we are lacking, and we could do better. Kids in other states, they'll play on travel teams. AAU teams will do it year round. They have kids that are going to college on scholarship to Division I programs, and we do not. The best player for New Hartford for football, Peyton Way, unbelievable wide receiver. He's going to Colgate on a full scholarship. Johnny Vitullo, one of the best quarterbacks I've ever seen for New Hartford. He's going to Cortland. He should be going to a higher level, and I hope that he does. But that, again, goes to talent.
Let's see. Cully, the pool to select from downstate is so much larger, so I do understand that point.
Yeah.
Deeds also says, Cully is correct, we don't have the depth.
Correct. Thank you.
All right.
We don't. I mean, it's not only the depth, it's just the sense of urgency and kids being interested in it. You have to have drive, determination to put the work in to be better.
So I guess, again, that's where I completely disagree with you. I don't.
You think that the kids do work hard, they have the drive and determination, and then why aren't we sending more kids to Division I schools to play college sports?
Well,
why aren't they getting scholarships?
I think it's typical that you see in bigger areas. Again, this point about the
is Connecticut a bigger area?
Well, I guess it depends on what part of Connecticut.
The state of Connecticut, population-wise, is it larger than New York? It is?
I don't think that it is.
No, I don't think that it is. But Connecticut sends, I believe, more players to Division I schools than New York. And that's what's been frustrating for me. I mean, football-wise, do you know who the last player to play Division I FBS football for New Hartford is?
No.
Me.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Division I FBS. Now, Peyton Way is playing Division I FCS at Colgate, which is outstanding. We had another kid go to Sacred Heart. Outstanding. But to play big-time college football, to have one in 30 years, 25 years.
Well, I mean, Will Smith.
Not New Hartford.
No, but our area.
Our area, yes. That was in 2003.
Okay. That was a big deal, though.
That was a huge deal, but I'm saying since then.
Roger is on the phone, 315-736-0186. Good morning, Roger.
Good morning. I'd like to comment on what you're discussing.
Yes.
I'm a big track and field guy, and I'm retired, and I go to Florida for 4 months every year, and I work with athletes in Florida, and I am absolutely shocked. The spring football in Florida is like religion, and many of the great athletes that would normally do track and field the coaches won't let them do track and field because they have spring football. And if they don't go out for spring football, they don't go out in the regular season. So I have to agree with your speaker that New York State is way behind in terms of commitment towards athletics.
Roger, can I ask you a question? Do you know the great Tom Wells?
I sure do.
I threw for Coach Wells. I was second in the state for the shot put for Mr. Wells, and I've worked with him all my life. He's great. But yeah, you're 100% right, and it's good that you go down to Florida and help train kids. But you see the disparity and the athletes you get down there to the athletes you get up here.
Oh my God! I mean, some of the schools down there by Tampa, where I am, 9 out of 11 kids are going to D1 off their team.
Exactly. Yeah.
And how many D1 football players out of Section 3? Out of Section 3 go to D1.
Yeah.
They got 9 kids out of one team going to D1.
Exactly.
So it's a whole different animal.
I know.
And you have to live it to understand the difference between a New York State sports atmosphere versus a Florida. It's
100%.
day and night.
Yeah.
So that's just my comment. That's all.
Thank you, Roger. Appreciate the comment. Tim says, let's face it, the majority of Division I football players are going to come from states like Florida, Georgia, Texas. These are football powerhouses.
That's 100% true.
However, focus on the scholastic ability is far below New York. That comment
is very true.
Coming from Tim. Okay.
He's 100% right. The scholastics do not come close, but the number of kids that you see go on to play college football at the highest level, the number of kids that you see go on to play in the NFL is much larger. And he mentioned 3 of the top states, Texas, Georgia, Florida, and then California is another one.
315-736-0186. It's 8:21. Smitty's telling me I have to take a break, but we have... Who do we have on the line? We have Chuck Lester on. Yes, I wanted to catch up with Chuck.
Yes.
About the
protest
data center in Ilion, and I guess there was a protest over the weekend. Although, Chuck, my understanding is you were not part of this, right?
No, I was not.
Did you drive by? Do you know somebody who was?
I really don't. I'll be honest with you. I didn't hear anything about it until I saw stuff on TV. You know, God bless the people for getting out there and expressing their opinion, but I think it's a little premature. I have seen nothing concrete about what's going on there. Right now, it's just a big, empty building that's really taking up space and doing nothing to benefit the village.
I think that's part of the concern is that the information isn't forthcoming.
Well, sometimes, you know, no matter what goes on, if you release it too soon and then nothing happens, you got egg on your face. And if you if you keep it, you know, you keep stuff quiet, people think you're hiding something. I just think that something's got to be done down there, that's for sure. But the idea is this is 2026. You can't tell me that something can't be developed that would work just fine in downtown Ilion. I don't know, is it a data center? Who knows? But that's my opinion. You know, I mean, we got to take our head out of the sand.
Chuck, this is Steve Cully, Jeff's co-host. I had a question. If they did put a data center there, is that something that would provide a significant amount of jobs to the people of Ilion, or would it just be a holding place for the data centers?
I'm not sure about what the employment statistics are on data centers.
Yeah.
You know, I saw a couple guys, there were 2 different mayors on Fox News last night, and they were talking, one was for them, one was against them. And the one guy that said that they were for them, they have a massive business park where these are located.
Oh.
And he said, you know, they provide their own electricity, they do all their own sewage and all that stuff. They're self-contained, if you will.
Right.
And like I said, this is 2026. You know, I grew up in Ilion, and downtown Ilion was a nightmare. 3:30 in the afternoon when Remington Arms first shift got off. There was traffic. There was business. There used to be 60 taverns in the village of Ilion. We had over 13,000 people. Now we got about 8. And I mean, Ilion is a reflection of what all New York State has turned into. We're a dumping ground. You know, I mean, it's government has driven people out with taxes. They discourage business with regulations, and they take care of the welfare people. Nothing against anybody that can't work.
So Chuck, you sound like you're for this. That kind of surprises me.
I think he's for anything.
What I'm for is let's investigate stuff, do it properly. You know, I was on the village board for a while. We were all set to pull the trigger on some development at the old Dufo building, and you know, we went out patting ourselves on the back, and then it fell apart. You know, so all I'll say is that anything that is done should be done correctly and efficiently and for the benefit of the village as a whole and the community in central New York overall.
All right. Chuck, I appreciate it. Thank you for checking in.
Yep, we'll see you later.
All right, that is Chuck Lester, former board member down there, and wanted his perspective on a little, it sounds like, impromptu protest that came up over the weekend.
Yeah, it wasn't big, but it's hard to disagree with his argument. They have that massive building sitting there.
The whole property,
and it's been years since, you know, they closed, and nothing has been done. You know, I mean, couldn't they turn it into a mall? Couldn't they do something with it? Haven't there been any businesses that have inquired about coming in? And he's right. For local businesses to start up, it's a nightmare.
And this is not the first time that they protested either, Jeff and Steve, in front of the Remington
No.
for this AI data center.
No. The AI is very controversial because there are so many unknowns about it. We don't know so much, and it's being invested heavily on Wall Street. There's new companies popping up every day, one better than the next, and they learn, which is so crazy. They learn your tendencies. They learn questions you ask about, and they really take over jobs for people. That's what's scary.
It is 8:27. You can join the conversation, give us a call, or leave a comment on YouTube or the WIBX 950 mobile app. A quick timeout. We'll come back with more after this on WIBX.
This is Dan from Acme Pool and Spa on Commercial Drive in New Hartford, across from Texas Roadhouse. Get years of summer fun for you and your family with a new above-ground pool starting at just $89.99 installed. You can take advantage of our 0% in-house financing. We can have your new pool installed in about 10 days. Don't let the summer pass you by. If an in-ground pool is your dream, the experts at Acme will guide you through the process. There's nothing better than enjoying summer in your backyard with an in-ground pool. Don't miss out on our midsummer sale with above-ground pools starting at $89.99 installed within about 10 days with our in-house 0% financing. Or let the experts at Acme guide you through selecting a custom in-ground pool, choosing from steel or fiberglass options. That's Acme Pool and Spa on Commercial Drive in New Hartford, and our midsummer pool sale going on now. We do the work, you just enjoy.
For a lot of workplaces, the work week doesn't end on Friday. That's why there's EasyCater, the best way to order food from favorite restaurants for your hardworking team, even on weekends. With EasyCater, you'll find great options for any group size and any shift, with tools to help meet dietary needs, stay on budget, and simplify expenses, all backed by our award-winning 24/7 support. EasyCater, your Monday through Sunday workplace food platform. Start an order for your weekend crew at easycater.com.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Here it comes. Surprise! There's an avocado shortage! Now half your food truck menu is costing more than it's making you! Also, you're out of napkins!
Those aren't cheap.
Progressive knows small business owners usually don't like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise, saving 10% or more on commercial auto insurance when you pay in full.
Also, an ice cream truck stole your parking spot! Looks like you're in a turf war!
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Veterans and active duty service members. When your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
The Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills is now accepting new patients. This is Bill Keeler. It is the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic. And right now, the Falcon Clinic is accepting new patients. Since adding some new physicians, a new physician's assistant, including Dr. Cheryl Mattern, they're now accepting new patients. Just call 315-507-4751. And yes, it is the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic, which means they do more. They look deeper. And your appointments are not in and out on your way. You're going to be with the doctor as long as you need to be with the doctor. And if your appointment is at 2 o'clock, you're in shortly thereafter. You're not going to sit around for an hour and a half. That's big. It's the Falcon Clinic. Dr. Kosminski, Dr. Mattern, Dr. Zielinski, Dr. Shemaleski, all under one roof. The Falcon Clinic. Call 315-507-4751.
You wouldn't drive a car without suspension, so why mow without it? Ferris Commercial Mowers set the bar as the first and only manufacturer to integrate suspension into their mowers, allowing you to go faster, cut better, and not get beat up. Whether you're a professional cutter or a homeowner that wants to mow like a pro, Ferris is there with the commercial-grade mowers to keep you going strong. Visit the Caledonia family today at Clinton Tractor to set up a test drive and feel the Ferris difference.
We are the leader in service, Clinton Tractor.
Hurt in a car? Call William Attar. 315-444-4444.
You know you want one. A Bad Boys mower isn't just another mower. It's second to none. It's an American-built machine with heavy-duty U.S. steel and shipped straight to Bob's Bad Boys mowers, never sitting around in a warehouse. That means when you're ready to mow, your bad boy is ready to go. And when the job's done, we're still here with expert sales, service, maintenance, and warranty support. Stop by Bob's Bad Boys Sales and Service, 6419 Middle Road in Munnsville. Call 315-264-2781 or visit bobsbadboys.com.
We think every kid should get started on the right foot or right feet. This is Bill Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM is partnering with Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield to help local kids in need get new kicks for a new school year. We call it Kicks for Kids. Go to WIBX950.com or the WIBX 950 app. Click on Kicks for Kids, and the Neighborhood Center will get the shoes to the kids. It's easy to give. Kicks for Kids from Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield and WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
We have cloudy skies, 68 degrees. Good morning, I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 8:33. President Trump will host Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at the White House this week as the war with Iran continues. Tuesday's meeting will mark the first face-to-face talks between the two since the Iran conflict began in late February. 3 people killed following a shooting in Seattle on Sunday. 4 others were injured when shots rang out during the Bite of Seattle festival, with the youngest of those victims being just 2 years old. Seattle's mayor, Katie Wilson, says a suspect was taken into custody, although it's still unknown what led to the shooting. ICE agents are reportedly planning to sweep through Ohio to arrest thousands of Haitians losing their temporary protected status. The TPS program is designed to allow migrants to live in the United States if it's too dangerous to return home. The Supreme Court recently sided with the Trump administration that the status could be revoked for Haitians and others. Several families of 9/11 victims want the mayor of New York City banned from the official ceremony marking the 25th anniversary of the attacks. Petition organizers accuse Mayor Zohran Mamdani of supporting groups and individuals who have been critical of America and being sympathetic toward radical views. Massive wildfires burning in France and Spain. About 220,000 people in France have been evacuated. Meanwhile, in neighboring Spain, flames have burned more than 123,000 acres of countryside. And Senator Lindsey Graham's funeral plans are set. Tomorrow, Graham's remains will be brought into the U.S. Capitol Rotunda for a private service there, which will likely be followed by a funeral service at the Washington National Cathedral. Then on Wednesday, the longtime Republican lawmakers' body will travel to the South Carolina State House, and then a procession held as his remains are taken to First Baptist Church in Columbia. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 8:35. Here is your Weather Center forecast.
I got to push around a little patchy fog this morning as we get into the afternoon. Got a miss shower, thunderstorm, otherwise sunshine, clouds. Not a bad Monday. About 85. Tonight, 65. Be a little cooler in the North Country. Tomorrow, a few showers around, maybe a thunderstorm. High near 80 degrees, and there could be some stronger storms in spots tomorrow. Nothing widespread, but we'll keep an eye on it. Wednesday, a few showers, thunderstorms. Highs will be in the low 70s. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Static, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Cloudy skies and 68 degrees at 8:36.
Here it comes. Surprise! There's an avocado shortage! Now half your food truck menu is costing more than it's making you! Also, you're out of napkins!
Those aren't cheap.
Progressive knows small business owners usually don't like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise, saving 10% or more on commercial auto insurance when you pay in full.
Also, an ice cream truck stole your parking spot! Looks like you're in a turf war!
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Hurt in a car? Call William Attar. 315-444-4444.
Live here, work here, support local. At New York Sash, that's how we do business every single day. Before our crews install a window or bath, we're out supporting the local companies that power us. By keeping it local, we keep our quality high, bringing you true worry-free remodeling. And this July, we're celebrating America's 250th milestone with the biggest event in our history. Welcome to the America 250 sale at New York Sash. Right now, completely transform your home and buy 2 windows, get 1 free. That's buy 2, get 1 free on energy-efficient windows. Plus, take a massive 50% off expert bath installation. And to make it completely worry-free for your budget, get 0% financing for 25 months. Call 315-624-7344 or visit NewYorkSash.com today.
Financing available with approved credit subject to approval. Not all buyers may qualify. Offer subject to terms and restrictions. See store for details.
It's about how you feel when you walk through the doors and when you leave. That's Steep Pawnee Mazda on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. It's the Ricky Z way, right? It's the Steep Pawnee way. But beyond that, it's every single employee. They treat you with the respect, and they understand you're in there for a new vehicle or you're in there for service. It's all about the treatment. This is Bill Keeler. And right now at Steep Pawnee Mazda, save on a new Mazda lease or enjoy 0.9% APR financing on a new 2026 Mazda CX-50 with 1.9% on CX-50 hybrids, 0.9% on the new 2026 Mazda CX-70 and CX-90, and 0% on PHEV models. See the dealership for details. As Rick says, come on in, let's look at the deals. Let's take care of you. How about 2.9% on a new 2026 Mazda CX-30 or CX-5, where it's always easy to do business? Steep Pawnee Mazda.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Good morning, Chief Olney.
Good morning.
So a couple of things here. We'll begin with this story out of Boonville, where you are currently the police chief. A situation where a driver, I guess, for some reason became incapacitated or unconscious, and a passerby, another motorist, actually realized what was going on and immediately took action.
Yeah, so this happened on the 20th. I was made aware of it by the town clerk. She said, hey, I have video from her husband's garage, is Krill's Automotive up in Boonville. And she goes, I have video from the garage of the incident that happened. I said, what are you talking about? And she showed me the video, and it's incredible. A woman was traveling northbound on State Route 12 in the village of Boonville when she lost consciousness behind the wheel, and she continued northbound. She was traveling at a fairly slow rate of speed, but she was going right up the middle of the road. Mr. Kevin Horan, he is a delivery driver for Napa up there. He's a retired, and this is what he does. He's a former Marine. He was coming southbound. He saw her pass by, saw her slumped over the wheel. He pulled into Krill's parking lot, parked his car, ran through the ditch, got out, ran up the middle of the road, chased after her car, opened the door, which in itself, you shut your door, you put your car in, get your doors locked. He opened the door, reached in, stopped the vehicle, and rendered aid to her. Incredible story. Just one of those things that as soon as I saw that video, I was like, we got to get this guy in. So we did a really nice letter to him of appreciation for really just being an upstanding citizen. I mean, that's the kind of people that really just, he didn't think anything about his own safety. He just went out there to help somebody, a total stranger, and it was just an incredible thing. So we had him come in yesterday, gave him a nice letter. I gave him a challenge coin that I had made up a while ago for the Boonville Police Department, and really just a huge heartfelt thank you. And the guy, he's just so humble. He's like, I didn't want any recognition. I said, that's what makes this even better, is we had to go to you and find you and have you come in. Just wonderful, wonderful guy. And then, I've never met him before. And I see the stories popping up all over the news and people's comments saying what a great guy he is and how this didn't surprise him in any way, shape, or form. So just a case of the right guy being in the right place to help this lady.
What's a challenge coin?
So a challenge coin, I should have brought one in here. So a challenge coin, folklore has it, they started back in either World War I or World War II with the military. And it was, the way I understand it is like it was a squadron aircraft, and the commander made up this coin, and it's like the size of a silver dollar with the squadron's logo on it and whatever else on it, and you had to have it on your person or within arm's length if you were challenged. And if you were challenged and you didn't have it, you bought a round of beer for the squad. So it's grown into a huge collector's thing. I have probably close to 500 of them.
Wow.
Yep. I have a display shadow box and everything with them. My very first one came from Dick Cheney when he came here way back when he came to Hotel Utica. I got my first one. That's when I was introduced to him, and I produced the whole series of challenge coins for the New York State Police for their centennial celebration in 2017, and I just made the one for Boonville. They're really big with police, fire, military now. A really big subculture of challenge coin collectors, and so it's a thing. And the one I designed for Boonville has one side of it is to celebrate the semi-quincentennial, and the other side is for the Boonville Police Department with the coordinator, the police department patch. And I paid for them, so I put my name on them. So
yeah, sure. Oh, that's amazing. Getting back to this situation, when you said that, I'm like, I guess I don't know this lore, but anyway, Route 12 is like what, a 55-mile-an-hour road?
Right there.
Most of it
just drops down to a 40 right there.
Okay.
Right in front of the town village offices, it drops down to 40. So she was in a 40 zone, just came out of a 55 zone. So this, if she'd have lost consciousness just a minute before, it could have been even worse. She would have been in a 55 zone.
So do you think she was stopped at an intersection or a light maybe and then became unconscious and continued forward? I'm trying to figure out how fast this vehicle was going when he observed it and was able to, obviously run alongside of it or be able to get in there.
So she wasn't traveling extremely fast. Traffic had started to slow down for the traffic light. She hadn't gotten to the traffic light yet. She was approaching a traffic light. And I don't know exactly when she lost consciousness, but I think it was really, really close to the time he saw her. So I think she might have been going 15 miles an hour in traffic. He had either just started or just went through the light to head southbound, and I don't know if he was going to Krills or whether he was going to continue further southbound, but they passed each other. I don't know what the closing speed was between the two, but he just happened to notice that she was slumped over behind the wheel.
Amazing that he was able to do that, because it could have been a bad accident, especially. You see, she was in the middle of the vehicle, so there could have been a head-on.
She ended up crossing. When he got her stopped, she was fully in the oncoming lane and actually a little bit toward the shoulder of the oncoming lane.
Wow.
Yep.
And then did he have to or offer what do they call it? Why can't I think of the name?
Well, he was getting ready to do CPR.
CPR. Thank you.
He told me that
couldn't come up with that.
He reached in, he checked for her pulse, and he said he might have checked a little bit too hard because she reacted to that, and he instantly was like, "Good, I don't have to do CPR." I was getting ready to. He was going to pull her out right on the side of the road and do CPR because he had some training. It just happened that one of my patrols was within sight just down the road with a car pulled over, and he saw the commotion and came up, and he was able to call for EMS right away on the radio, so it didn't have to go through the 911 system right away. There was, I think, a off-duty either volunteer firefighter or paramedic. She was there to render aid immediately. So this was the perfect storm for the woman who lost consciousness. It was really, everything worked out in her favor.
And I know we don't want to violate any health requirements or health reporting or anything, but do we know what happened? Can we say what happened?
We don't. Well, we don't want to say. I haven't spoken to her, and I don't want to say anything public about her condition or what happened or why it happened. So.
Okay. This is Kevin Horan? Oh, we got him on the phone right now. Good morning, Kevin. How are you? You're on the air with Boonville Police Chief Dave Olney. Good morning, sir, and thank you for what you did the other day.
You're welcome. Good morning, fellas.
Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning. Just want to say to Dave, I had no idea that the little thing we did yesterday would take off the way that it has, and as I said yesterday, I wasn't looking for any limelight. I just wanted to avoid any further injury to the lady and any property damage to anyone else there.
Well, Kevin, what I told you yesterday was the fact that we had to go find you, and we know you weren't looking for anything, makes it even better. And I'm sorry you're going to have to go in the witness protection program.
I know. It's been kind of surreal since 11 o'clock yesterday morning, pal.
You earned every bit of accolade and recognition that you have. So we greatly appreciate you stepping up in a moment's. You saw it, you sprung to action, and it's a pretty rare thing that you did. So. Yeah,
I just wanted to call in because Jeff actually went to high school with my oldest son, so I wanted to clarify a point. Yeah, point that you guys were just talking about. So I was at the light, and I had a kind of, Smith system of driving. I aim high in my driving, so I was looking up the road, and I believe she lost consciousness around Gulf with a twist, because that's when her speed greatly decreased from, around 40 miles an hour, and it started going from 40 down to 20, down to 15, 10. So she's about 10 to 5 miles an hour by the time she got to Krills when I caught up to her and pulled real close to her in the center of the lane and looked into the vehicle to confirm my worst case scenario. So then I had to wait for a few more cars to pass in order to make the left-hand turn to get my vehicle off the road, park it, jump out, and start my sprint to catch up to her as she continued to travel north, probably around 5 to 10 miles an hour. And luckily it was an uphill incline, so her vehicle slowed, thank God, because she was unconscious. I think her foot relaxed off the gas, and that helped me catch up to her. And through an act of God, because it was a 2014 vehicle, I didn't know what I expected, but her vehicle door should have been locked, but they were not. So I was able to open her door and jump in and get the car into park and bring it to a stop.
Yeah, unbelievable. Because I had that question as well. Typically, they automatically lock, but for some reason, it didn't. And I think everybody's grateful that that was the case.
Absolutely. And that was the key to it all.
Really, the planets lined up for that to be the case and for Kevin to be there, and just everything was in that woman's favor.
Well, listen, since we have you on the line now, Mr. Horan, let me ask, I'm getting the impression that maybe people were reaching out to you that either you hadn't heard from in a while, or maybe media outlets wanting a comment from you.
I'm not on Facebook, but family members are, and they've just been sharing multiple platform posts, I guess you would call it, on different media outlets, and hundreds and hundreds of posts and of thanks and congratulations. And I'm humbled by it, and I appreciate it. And as I've said to everyone, I wasn't looking for any accolades or fame. I was one of the only, I believe I must have been the only person that knew what was happening, and I knew what needed to be done, and I was going to get it done, and I did it.
Oh.
And I'm very fortunate I was able to do it, because 30 seconds either way, it probably would have ended a lot differently, and it wouldn't have been good.
Well, listen, I know Chief only gave you the challenge coin and was recognizing what you did, and I know you weren't looking for that, but for whatever this is worth, on behalf of this show, Keeler in the Morning, and myself, really thank you for what you did. It was outstanding, and I'm glad that there are a lot of good citizens out there who are looking to help others, and we really appreciate what you did, because you may have saved a life or more than one on Monday.
Absolutely.
Thank you for that, and my only hope at this point is that the woman has a full recovery and everything's well from this point forward.
You mentioned your son I went to school with. Was it Daniel?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I thought so. Please tell him I said hello.
Will do.
Thank you.
Have a great morning, guys.
You too. You too, and thank you again. How about that?
Take care, Kevin. Thank you.
I'm glad that he called in. How about that?
That's awesome.
First-hand account of what he witnessed there at the. You know, when I was asking about where the vehicle may have slowed up, is because I'm thinking you could have somebody, when they lose consciousness, the foot relaxes and comes off the pedal. But I think I'm no expert on this. This is just my speculation. I think it's also possible that the foot drops and hits the pedal and it actually accelerates, right?
It could be.
Could be.
It's just a matter of which way it goes.
So very fortunate in many different circumstances here, as far as the doors being locked, the foot coming off the pedal. And thank you to Mr. Horan for what he did, because, again, he may have saved a life or more than one. So
absolutely.
At Mohawk Valley Health System, nursing is more than a career. It's a calling.
I just love the family environment. Everyone's so helpful, so encouraging. Everyone here is amazing.
Whether you're starting your journey or ready to grow, MVHS offers competitive pay, career development, and a place to belong.
Everybody wants you to succeed, and I feel like the patients and families also feel that as well. My team helps me grow here.
Mohawk Valley Health System. Change lives, starting with yours. At Mohawk Valley Health System, we're investing in nurses like never before.
Working at the Wynn Hospital in the OR has given me the opportunity to not only enhance my critical thinking skills, but also my autonomy.
With competitive new rates, career development programs, and a culture built on support.
I love the team that I work with on the 7th floor.
Here at the Wynn Hospital, I'm not just part of a team, I'm part of a family.
You'll grow your nursing career with great pay, a supportive team, and real opportunities.
Here at the Wynn Hospital, I can find my niche and grow.
Change lives, starting with yours.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, it is First News, Keeler in the Morning on WIBX. Manaski and Cully sitting in. A couple of things we want to mention before we get out of here today. I saw that John Walsh is going to be in Syracuse today. Of course,
his son, that's how America's Most Wanted got developed.
Yes, but today is actually the anniversary.
On this date in 1981 was the day that Adam Walsh was abducted. And, of course, as you mentioned, it led to the television show, and he's renowned as a crime-fighting god. Yeah, John Walsh. He'll be in Syracuse today. They're doing an Operation Orange, which is identifying sex offenders, holding them accountable for not complying with the sex offender registry.
America's Most Wanted.
I'm sure it's an emotional day, certainly for him. What's going on in sports? A couple of things you want to highlight?
Yeah, Stanford is actually forming a CBA with their football team. It's happened before with Northwestern in 2014. It's been unsuccessful previously, but now, since there's legislation being passed through Congress about it, but it doesn't give as many rights to the players for collective bargaining. Now, the question is, if it goes through, who is Stanford going to be collectively bargaining with their football team?
Isn't Andrew Luck like the manager or the?
He's the general manager. Yes.
Okay.
So they're saying that they're trying to get groups set up on each football program for now, and they would collectively bargain with the conferences for finances and different things that they want for the players.
Yeah,
and
but
it would change.
Can they do that even though they're in they play ACC sports football?
Yes, that's what they're saying. They would do it by conference.
Well, they're not in ACC, Stanford.
Yeah, Stanford is in the ACC. Yes. So they're trying to get all the teams so they can unionize and collectively bargain instead of going through Congress. This bill is unlikely to get passed, and even if it does, it gives the players less restrictions, less ability to negotiate. So the reality is they're employees. Whether the NCAA wants to admit it or not, they are paid employees of the university. How many of these kids are going to class? How many of these kids are graduating? How many of them are getting exemptions for playing 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th? There's someone playing for their 9th season this year.
Really?
Yeah. It's because they're making more money.
Yeah, absolutely.
Playing at the college level. I'll give you an
9
example.
years as a quote
That's
student
ridiculous.
athlete.
Yes. I'll give you an example. I don't know if you remember the quarterback from Vanderbilt, Diego Pavia.
Uh-huh.
Diego Pavia was the runner-up for the Heisman Trophy. He went undrafted. He was picked up by the Baltimore Ravens.
Got released.
And he got released yesterday. It's one of the few times in the history where the Heisman runner-up has been released.
What's the issue?
Well, he was another one. This was his 8th year of eligibility. He played 8 years because he played at a community college, which they said didn't count. So, again, he was granted an extra year of eligibility, and he made a ton of money playing this year. And getting cut from the NFL, I mean, no big deal. He made more playing college last year.
Yeah.
So now with the 5-for-5 rule, the age limit rule, that's going to hinder things. And if they do allow the teams to form unions and CBA, I think it'll make a big difference because it's getting out of control, Jeff. $40 to $50 million they're spending on football rosters. $10 million is being spent on men's basketball rosters. So that's all I wanted to say. I just think it's crazy.
Yeah, it's. I joked last week that is the NFL becoming a beer league because the kids are making more in college.
They are.
And this is the after.
Unless you're drafted in the first round, late second.
Yeah. Appreciate you sitting in today. Cully will be back tomorrow.
Well,
so will
I wouldn't say sitting in. I'm more of a co-host. So
have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow.
Windows down, music up. Summer officially starts when you're driving a new Chevy from Steed Ponte Chevrolet in Herkimer. This month, score 0% financing on select 2026 Chevy Trax, Equinox, and Silverado models. Looking for the perfect summer SUV? Lease a new Chevy Equinox LT all-wheel drive for just $329 a month. Or if your summer plans call for a truck, get up to $7,000 off a new Chevy Silverado. Road trips, boat days, backyard projects, wherever summer takes you, get there in a new Chevy from Steed Ponte Chevrolet. These deals are only here through July 31st, so So don't wait. Cruise into Steve Ponte Chevrolet in Herkimer today. Stop in and see why it's always easy to do business at Steve Ponte Chevrolet. Chevrolet, together, let's drive. 0% financing available in lieu of select rebates. Equinox lease is 36 months, 10,000 miles per year, plus $4,000 plus first payment, tax and fees due at signing. Customers must have a current lease in the household and qualify for the GM card rebate. Customers must qualify for top-tier credit through GM Financial. Silverado discount requires trade of 2012 Chevrolet GM card rebate qualification, plus dealer discount. See salesperson for complete details. Offer ends July 31st. Must take delivery by July 31st.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter